Alright. Secret? Secret? I didn't see who won the second. We'll just do another vote later on, I guess. The bot took a day off. It did. It did. There are a lot of servers down in the past. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We don't really need the commands today, though, thankfully. We don't really need the commands. Still getting more Beast Coast TSM. I saw that live, yeah. I did see that live. That was a bit of a nightmare, no? So last time we did this, let me just see. Which screen did we use? I think we just used this, right? So let me just check here. So we gotta be a little bit smaller here. Gotta be a bit small, like so. All right, there we go. So audio. So I uploaded my highlights of watching this. What's the word? Actually, we should be bottom left. We shouldn't be top left. We should be bottom left. I remember there's like the reinforcements of drones at top left, basically. People in my YouTube video were saying that they didn't want any of the casters in the background, but I feel like it's nice to have. I don't know. Thatcher band coming from Kovana. Spicy. Give me 1 sec. Make sure that all this works. This works. This works. This works. All right. Can we do one VOD that's not on Clubhouse? How many games were on Clubhouse? I didn't see. What team did Kayak transfer from? So that's why this game is kind of fun to watch. Kayak actually came from Kovana, the team that G2 is playing against. So this is like the previous team with the Curious team. 3 or 4 maps, or 3 maps for Clubhouse. Jesus, dude. Jesus. Yeah, last G2 was Consulate. Yeah, G2 played Consulate, and then now Clubhouse. That is how it goes. Out of those 3 Clubhouse matches, 2 of them were 7-1 scores too. Damn. Damn. Anywho, Thatcher ban, we can now match that with a Maverick if we so desire to really shut down the deal here, or we can go for Sophia ban. Sophia's ban is interesting because the reason why you ban Sophia is when you can just like, you can cheese a lot of mechanics with a stun grenade, as well as it just forces you onto the Ash, which is like not an instant explosion for bandit trick and whatnot. Also can work really well with a kite claw if you play a kite. Clash ban, okay. Interesting. Sophia and the Clash. So I think the Clash is a target ban towards Kovana. It has to be. I don't see why else they would be banned. No one really plays Clash on Clubhouse. Could be some insider info from the Yak himself, maybe. This is kind of where, like, the Yak might be like, yo, guys, we had this strat back in Kovana where we played Clash and it's super insane. We should ban it, you know? Because I don't think I've ever seen a Clash ban on Clubhouse in recent times. Nor do I know any teams that play it. But Kovana is new to the league, meaning that they could easily be the ones playing it. So I'm going to assume that this is Kayak knowing something that we don't. And obviously he shared that with G2. Otherwise, it's just some giga brain. You know, maybe G2 struggles against the Clash in scrims. Or maybe they've been scrimming Kovana and they've seen it before. It's either or, really. It has to be an insider thing. G2 doing what they always do. We're going to be 6-picking off the IQ. Also often into the Twitch. This is something that we saw them doing on Consulate as well. The reasoning for this is, again, the Valkyrie is banned, so 6-picking off the IQ isn't really a massive, you know, mind breaker, but generally speaking, if Valkyrie is not banned, you want to 6-pick off the IQ to show that if they 6-pick the Valkyrie, you would have the IQ to counter, right? Whereas if you don't show the IQ, then they can 6-pick into the Valkyrie or the Echo, whichever, and then you don't have any IQ to find those set gadgets. But with Valkyrie being banned and Echo almost never being played, the whole IQ 6-picking is kind of... It's a good exercise, but it's not super crucial here. But that is typically how you play around it. Move the commands from title since you can't? Oh yeah, you can't because you don't have access to the bots. I got it, Han. Note that because the Thatcher is banned and the Sophia is banned, you are going to see the Kite Claws, and that's what G2 has to problem solve around. They can either be used for the garage rafters, for the catwalk walls, or they can be used for the server breach, which means that we're either going to get some crazy value Twitch drones, or we're going to get some crazy verticality from Ashe, or we're just going to say, hey, we can just Maverick the wall with the buck. So you have like 3 different primary ways of countering this scenario. So that's like your first obstacle as a team. Mind that Kayak is breaching this wall alone with no bug or soft breach nearby, so I'm not sure if they're gonna rotate Jake over after getting the office hatch. Because you do need something else with the Maverick here to open up this wall. You can't just Maverick it. I mean, you could Maverick a square, I guess, if you really wanted to, you know? Like, you could just go, you know, all the way, and then, like, you break this entire thing. That's, like, what you used to do with Maverick tricking back in, like, when he first came out. Nowadays, what you do instead is that you simply just go top line first, bottom line, then this half wall gets soft, and then you're gonna buck open the wall or Ashe shit, Sophia, Sledge shit, whatever. What you can also do is you can actually buck this entire layer first, and then once you Maverick it to soft, it's just completely open because the soft wall is already broken apart. So there's 2 different ways of doing it. The way G2 is doing it is more effective or efficient because the buck will spawn construction. He's going to open up dirt. He's going to open up Minster's window, get the construction cam, rappel to the roof, get the office hatch open, and then come to the Maverick breach. That way you're getting way more value out of every second of every round. Instead of, you know, the buck waiting for Maverick to open the wall, you see. Instead of buck waiting here for a minute and then bucking the wall, buck gets the hatch, he gets the window, gets the default cam, and then he comes to the breach, and then he bucks it open. This way you're getting max value out of basically every single player in the team, and you're pretty much super, super happy with that. Otherwise, the buck is just gonna sit waiting around for nothing, really. We got trades coming out. Uno getting killed off. I'm not sure where that kill came from. If it's Garage Door or Garage Breach. Kenzo's on the Garage Breach, so I assume Uno is Garage Door. Kayak is Garage Door. Where is Uno? It's actually a super high value kill, which is something that you might need to note here, is that they traded, right? But Uno dies as a Twitch and top floor attack, and they trade with the catwalk player of Wamai. Wamai gets stronger the longer he's alive for, because he's gonna get more magnets. And you can't really retake the catwalk once you have the server breach open, which G2 has already achieved. So in this stage of the round, you got 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and G2 has gotten every single aspect of the map that they actually care about. Now, they could go master bedroom now and get, you know, crazy, you know, they can breach the walls inside of Cash. Then they have catwalk control and they have the server breach and they get a crazy pinch. But generally speaking, with this lineup, you just want to go straight into catwalk, start clearing out, you know, if there's any Valcams, Echo Drones, you know, shields. And then you just need 1 guy in lounge to hold the vertical play. And you bait out the C4s and the smoke grenades. And then eventually you can plant. And that's the benefit of having this much time left, is that they only have 1 C4 and 3 smoke grenades. So at best, all they're gonna waste is 30 to 45 seconds. G2 can play the long game here. He jumped in CC window. So so Uno jumped in CC window and got the trade-off. Oh, so that's Uno's body here. Oh, so that's Uno, that's Omai. I see. So Uno jumped in CC window and just fucking swung the catwalk guy. Got that kill knowing he would die. And then again, it opens up the round for the rest of G2. I see. I see. That's actually a classic Uno play though. Like, this is not the first time he's done that in his career. It's like, it catches people off guard so hard because no one's fucking expecting that shit. Although if Uno dies without killing the one there, it's like it's kind of troll. You know, it's kind of troll. So do note here, Citizen trying to collapse with the guy holding lounge here with the refrag on Ken. So that is beautiful coordination to single out the Jaeger here. Now they have lounge control, they have garage control, they have bottom garage control, and they have server breach control where Jake is. Ben then goes back upstairs. We're going to assume that Kenzo's going to be holding lounge then. Or at the very least, Uno should be on a drone there, because you need info on below. They don't have anyone below at the minute. First smoke goes out, 32 seconds left. Again, we can just keep stalling. Kaya gets smoked through the wall here. This is the smoke glitch that, you know, I don't think that was intentional necessarily, but this is the smoke glitch that fucks everyone in the game, where like you don't have anywhere to play. No, either you back off and there's a rotate hole here, or you go right but you still get smoked and you got the outside from the shield. So he gets injured by the smoke glitch. Unlucky. Now Kento has to save the day. Oh, big kill there. Now so we get a kill back actually on the injury there, which is massive. The only C4's in the hand of Kenju, and he can't really get much fear from it, except that he gets knocked out Kento. And that's where the execute starts coming in. We get traded. One guy on red stairs. Actually, I think Kenju gets all of them. Kendrick gets all of them. Kendrick gets a triple kill. I take it back. Kayak 1v2, 1v1. Quad kill for Kendrick gets shot down. And all of a sudden, Yak has one more guy to find and finds it onto Ara kick. And that's the smoke taken down. It's kind of messy execute, right? Because if you look at this, the timing is really awful, right? The revive comes out. Kendrick enters back with a C4. Now, if Kendrick was the one playing behind the shield, he could have gotten a double kill, right? Very easily, because Jake can only see this far. You can see 4 from here. But Kendrick actually enters back really smartly, throws out a C4. Kendrick forced to run past. The smoke grenade is still there. They don't want to stack in the corner. When that C4 comes out, Kayak is now smoked off, right? And now the execute comes in from Citizen and Jake. Kayak can't really do much to help here. He's 20 health. There's a smoke grenade. There's a shield facing him, right? And they kind of play kind of smart. They play refrag, right? It looks like they're both looking towards red here. You know, which is a bit iffy, seeing as Kanto just dies with C4 here, and Kayak can't do anything with 1 health left. And Kayak just Kenju just swings and gets them both. But then again, Kendrick kind of overextends here at the very last second, because look at this situation. Look at this position. Kendrick is in a stable position. Smoke has crossfire from his shield to watch his window. The only thing Kendrick has to worry about now is the rotate if he comes in deep. Kendrick wide swings, presumably to just keep going. You know, he's feeling he got a quad kill. He's gonna get the ace. He swings it, very confidently so. Not even worried about the rotate. Swings the window knowingly, right? Loses the gunfight. And where's his teammate? His teammate is in the rotate, top red. So as good of a round as Kendrick played here, overextending in this position, giving Kayak the 1 versus 1, ultimately loses them the round. And the 4 kills he got previously are rendered useless. It looks great on the scoreboard, don't get me wrong, but other than that, it's a bit iffy. And Kayak's reaction. Now, what is that, dude? Also, I think something to note here. This is a discussion that we've had a couple of times on my stream. Let's go back a little bit further. I want to see the setup exactly. Can we see here? So currently there's no rotate here. It could be made later. I'm curious if they make a rotate or if they make just a line of sight hole. That's what I want to see. Show me catwalk, darling, please. I want to see the catwalk. Oh, there, I got it. I got it right here. Okay, so something to note here. C4 made the rotate hole? No, the C4 went through the rotate. The C4 couldn't have made the rotate. So in Pro League, it's very, very common to only make a headline of sight like this instead of making a rotation hole like that, right? And this is one of the biggest meta changes that we see to Catwalk the last year. And the reasoning for this is you're going to lose Catwalk control every single round as a defender, unless something crazy happens. You should lose Catwalk, right? Unless they go Master Bedroom, but then Catwalk is not as important. If you make a rotate like they did here, not only do you allow Uno to jump in the window and run into Catwalk to fight the Wamai, which inevitably is what happens. Uno jumps in, kills the Wamai without a rotate hole, not possible, right? But if you go later into the round, look at the players that are in Catwalk late round. It's a Kayak on Maverick and it's Kanto on Ibana. Neither of these 2 operators can actually open up this wall. Neither of them can. Sure, Citizen could shoot an S charge onto this wall from outside the server breach where he is currently, but that's still gonna take away some utility, some time, some communication, and some decision making. Instead, Kovana actually does this job for them by making a rotation hole. You know, this is those like small things that kind of matter. Uno wouldn't be able to go through because that's Uno's dead body right there. Kento and Kayak can't go through this rotate. They're forced to jump through the window and make a rotate on the hard wall, which they later on do anyway. So just something small to note, that you typically just want to make a head level here for those purposes. Let's say Citizen was dead. Jake can't block this from outside. Now Kento and Kayak, they have to jump in the window unless they can breach the hard wall. And that is why we see most teams go for the approach of not making a rotate there anymore. Because I don't think we've seen a rotate there in like months from most teams. You could argue that, you know, the rotate being there did get Kento that C4 kill. You could argue that maybe, although he could just toss it through the peak holes anyhow. But yeah, that's kind of playing for a clutch scenario that shouldn't happen in the first place. Can't Maverick open up the hole? No. Maverick can't open up the hole. If you start Maving up that hole, not only are you gonna get crossfired by top red and by Cash, but you're gonna get C4s and smoke grenades tossed at you. When Kayak was on those Hibana holes that Kento made for him, that's when he got smoked through the wall. That would be the same scenario if you started Maving the wall. You're too close to it, the smoke goes through it, it damages you, stalls you. It takes up a lot of time to Maverick open the wall, and you risk dying because they can see the angles, right? So generally not very safe. That's also why you play the Mutant, you play the Kite, and you play the Bandit on server bomb side. You want to try and basically waste as much heartbreach potential as possible so that they're going to be lacking something somewhere on the map. And that's exactly why you play the Maverick, because the Maverick doesn't care about Mute, doesn't care about the Kite, doesn't care about the Bandit. He goes straight through everything. Only thing to note that you could maybe do differently is you could take Kento from Hibana over to Ace. That way you get smoke grenades. And seeing as you're Mavericking most walls and you're not really worrying about any hatches, Ace is better for walls than Hibana, arguably, right? However, because Kovana can go basement, because they've never won basement, that is probably why I'm assuming T2 is playing Hibana here. Hibana is much better to have on basement than she's bad at having on cash, right? Because if you're playing Ace Maverick and Kovana goes basement now, you're fucked. Like, you are, generally speaking, fucked. You want the Hibana for basement. So I wouldn't be surprised to see G2 go off the Hibana once Kovana wins a basement, or if they realize that they're refusing to go basement. Because then there's no point playing it anymore. Well, come back to competitive in the future? I don't know, Sobo. Maybe. Maybe one day I'll come back. It's kind of fun to watch and not play for once, though, in a way. Also, very good verticals here. A lot of teams don't make these, but you can actually hold all the way into this area right here and to this area right here if they're standing up. All the way from pool table through those holes. It's actually a really, really strong vertical hole. The downside is that there's a pool table window right here. So you also kind of exposed yourself. But very good verticals to make. More teams should make them. You can also throw a C4 through it to deny the, if they're trying to breach the mirror window, for example. So yeah. Very good verticals. Also, the benefit of playing double shotgun since they're playing the mirror is that not only can Gogona or the smoke go onto MP5, which they have, to get a better gun with a good gadget, but also it means that you have enough shotguns to make all the holes you need. Playing a single shotgun on gym defense is very yikes. You gotta make like 3 rotation holes, a bunch of vertical holes, open up the hatches, you know? It's a lot of work. Also, this hatch is... Yeah, we go. It wasn't open. So very classic clear from G2. They're going to go server side. Obviously, Kovana is extending out themselves. They're contesting it. They have a shield top red. Very classic setup. They're swinging the radio door. So, something to note here. When you take Catwalk, we saw BDS have the exact same problem. When you're taking Catwalk, you need to open up this hard wall. Because when you open up this hard wall, it denies this Jaeger from swinging out like he just did. Who died on server breach? Kento died on server breach. Who's the player in garage? I can't tell. I don't know who it is. It could be Uno. For all I know. It can't be Uno. He's on the breach as well. It's Citizen. Citizen can't do anything here. Look. Citizen can't do anything here because he can't open up this wall. Either you put Kanto in here and Kayak on the breach, or you put Kayak in here with Kanto on the breach. But they actually put both players on the server breach. I assume once you get the mute jammer with the Maverick and then the Hibana open the wall. I assume that's what happened. If not, I have no reason to believe why Kanto was actually not in garage. Because this is exactly how you get swung out on. We can check that actually if you go back. We can just check Hibana's Pel account. No, they actually Maverick opened this breach from scratch. So Kanto had no reason to be here. Sledge was here, I believe, and so was the Yak himself. Kanto should have gone garage with Citizen, if anything. Open up that wall for Citizen, and then you can start working on the inner walls. So that's a bit of an inefficient map rotation. And he gets punished from it pretty devastatedly. You see, imagine if this character was Hibana. Different story. This Jaeger would be stuck. The line back is cut off. And now they have Jaeger and Mute stuck on cash with no backup. And then you're playing 5 versus 2. Now they're playing 4 versus 5. And the Jaeger and Mute can now fall back completely for free. Which, look, they took their advantage. They got the free kill. And now they say, adios amigos, we're gonna fall back. You can kill this shield with a nade, waste some utility. They're gonna be droning it because they don't know that they fell back. Because again, the wall isn't open. So had you to open up that garage wall first, completely different story. Now they got a drone it and they're like, oh shit boys, they fell back. I will say though that G2 is running this really fast, so they're not wasting that much time. Next obstacle following is the mirror window and connector, or sorry, in construction. Into construction from office. You can deal with this vertically. You can try and get the mute jammer, then Hibana it. Hibana's dead, you can't. You can also just YOLO drop the office hatch and push this mirror window with the actual players. You can nade it from below. Seeing as Jake is on the hatch, it seems to be a nade from Uno. Mirror actually answers back really well. Leaves the mirror into position. I don't know if Uno missed that nade, if that was intentional, but he almost naded Mirror. Oh, they know. They have info. Oh, you hate to see it, dude. The yellow ping of doom comes in. Sluff gets taken out. This is the value that Jake is getting from that hatch drone. But not only did he ping the mirror, which Uno naded. I thought that was a missed nade, but there is info. But they also get a perfect wallbang on Sluff hiding in office too. So they kind of take back a cheese kill on their own after they get cheese themselves. So yeah. Can't you see this if you go on the vent on the hatch? No, if it's standing level, you can't. I believe you can only see this mirror window if it's crouched level from the ventilation. If you want, I can launch up my game right now to test. But I'm like 99% sure you can only see this canister from the ventilation if it's crouch level, which is why it's standing level. I am 99% sure. Because otherwise this mirror window would be useless, like literally useless. Also, another thing to note, if you have a mirror guy playing here holding that ventilation boost, the ventilation guy is gonna die like 9 out of 10 times because the defender has the advantage. But yeah. I feel like that mirror window wouldn't be there ever if it was that easy to kill. So I'm pretty sure you can't. Oh, okay, so Kendra actually leaves office here, so G2 can just walk in and take it. So Kovana is falling back at every single stage they can. They get the one free kill, then they fall back. Sloth dies, now they leave office. This is exactly how G2 is going to end up winning the round, because they're giving up the ground for free completely, and they have nowhere to play. They have one guy hiding in this corner, one guy hiding in that corner. There's not really any playable positions to be had from Kovana themselves, and now it's just going to be a frag fiesta. With no Valkyrie or info on the board, it's going to be a guessing game of which angle to peek first from Gogo. Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ. Ben Jago peeks the door. Gogona misses every shot. Maverick walks in and Kaya takes him down. It's beautiful. You see, you actually want to hold office in most circumstances because it's so easy to hold as a defender and it's hard to take as an attacker. Also, the mirror window never got opened, so they never had to like give it up as much as they did, but they did anyway. Thank you, Gaming Division 2, or Diversion 2 rather, for the Prime sub. So Kovana might be giving G2 a bit too much space, and it's funny because if you go back to the first round, it was the opposite. you know, the first round was Kenju swinging everything, giving D2 no space, and that lost them the round. Next round, Kovana gives them as much space as they would like, and they also win the round. So what do? You gotta play that fine middle ground where you challenge them when you have to, when you're in a strong position, and you fall back when you have to further enhance your position. You can't just fall back for the sake of falling back and peek out for the sake of peeking out. It has to make sense, right? Otherwise, you end up in these situations where D2 will just punish you, and that's what's happening. Yeah, I'll say add command doesn't work in my chat, on my title. Commands aren't working, bot is dead. Dead. Misspelled dead. I got you, homie. Do you think Kovana should be more aggressive and get space? No, it's the middle ground. You need to understand your limits, like when to push forward and when to push backwards. Like giving up office seemingly for no reason other than, you know, Slough died was a bit weird with 4 versus 4, you know? Yes, Mirror was low, but if Mirror plays, you know, here or plays close and you have another guy assisting him, you can get a lot of value, right? You can. Because they had one guy hiding in this corner, one guy hiding in that corner, and then the third guy was like top main. I think it was. Or he was bathroom, either or. But it's like you don't really have any ground to play in. You're just boxing yourself into a corner. And you can't really play for plant deny because there's no verticality, there's no Valkyrie, no pulse, no echo, no maestro. You need to actually play the map in this circumstance. Why did Kovana reinforce the soft wall that gives a direct side of line into kitchen drop? Oh, so that's actually a decent question. It's a very common thing to do these days. I'll go back a bit if you don't mind me. So, by reinforcing off this wall, you basically make the church double door playable for defenders, and you can still throw a C4 or a smoke on this line in towards default plant. So it's not really a big deal. But basically, by reinforcing off this wall, you can also put a shield here in the hallway to further extend this position. That can then get killed vertically from soft floor. But it basically just makes the kitchen hatch get a lot less value because, okay, they can see you, but you can't see them, you know? But it's very common to do. It further denies an angle from kitchen hatch. And kitchen hatch is D2's priority. Every team knows that. D2 is horny for the kitchen hatch. So if Kovana knows they're studying, reinforcing of this wall makes pretty good sense. If you're playing against a team like BDS that don't care too much about the kitchen hatch necessarily, do you need that wall reinforced? Probably not. But D2 loves the kitchen hatch. I mean, if you go back and watch the VODs, I think 7 out of 10 executes are kitchen hatch based the last like year of Clubhouse. It's a lot of kitchen hatch execute. That's why from D2 we want to see a blue execute or a church take. We don't want to see another kitchen hatch execute. We want to see they can do more than just kitchen hatch. Jake doing the same thing every round, getting that off his hatch, good value. Something simple but important to do. Also, Uno cutting off the main just rotate. That would have been a beautiful pick if that happened. That would have been such a tilde from Kovana. Something to note though, with that wall being reinforced like they have, the back B, we call it the ash wall. Here, this wall is soft. And this wall actually enhances the kitchen hatch plant because you can then just go in from this soft area. Whereas normally this wall is reinforced and you gotta go deep into the second wall to get in. So by reinforcing off this wall, you're sacrificing the back B wall. And now there's a new weakness in the strat, right? We'll see what comes out of it. Rainbow is Magic is out today? Oh, really? Maybe we stream some Rainbow is Magic later then. Is it the same event from last time or is it different? Like, is it copy pasta or no? G2 clearing out top floor. It's like an SSG fake roam. They fell back really early. They made some rotates. They still need to respect it and they still need to drone this out. Oh, it's the same with new skins. Okay. What about a kitchen and dirt push if defend play gym bar? You can definitely attack kitchen and dirt. The only issue is that it's very complicated to do anything with dirt because you got blue and you got the new tall box. What you could do is have a guy kitchen hallway holding the flank, have Hibana in kitchen open up the hatch, maybe get some verticality to clear out, you know, the bank B positions. You could try that, but it's a bit messy. You have almost no map control. It's easier for defenders to play around than it is to attack. But of course, again, if they were actually roaming top floor, it could work if you're quick about it. For sure. But the roam game isn't really real here from Kovana. You know, they're just kind of... Going to cook onto kitchen here? Nope, falls back instead. Again, so this is again where I get a little bit annoyed by Kovana, because what if, in this scenario, they just C4 Jake up here. This guy dies, right? No drones. You have Mossy Pest here. You probably have another one either on kitchen door or maybe in bar somewhere. What if Gorgona in this circumstance ran into freezer inside kitchen or ran into strip? Right? Instead of falling back into basement and saying, oh, we played a 5v4 with a minute and 40 seconds left. What if you actually extend out and you waste like 30-40 seconds because they have to drone strip. They have to drone kitchen. And once they see Gorgona playing there, he might get a kill, he might not, but he's going to waste so much time and effort, and it's only going to go back to a 4v4 if anything, which is super good value. Instead, they fall back together, nothing really comes out of this, they get a free pick, and they run all the way back again. So Kovana, again, they just take what they can get, and they just yeet off the distance. Bit disappointing. Bit disappointing. I would have loved to see them hide in kitchen or something. Like, they're aggressive on blue side, but then they're super passive on main stair side now. So now it's very one-sided. And again, you don't really have a pulse, you don't have a Valkyrie, you don't have a Maestro, don't have an Echo. So again, you don't really have anything to play around the bomb deny or the plant, except for C4s and smoke grenades. Oh, no! Okay, bless the fucking Lord Sloth. Again? Okay? Real quick, what if Sloth stays? What if the second this kill happens, Sloth goes back and hides in this corner that he did previously, and then Grizzly comes up the staircase and then once again re-establishes the crossfire. Then they have blue control, right? Again, they get the kill, they fall all the way back. It's not a bad idea, but it gets very, very linear, right? Imagine if they had a crazy crossfire here against Kanto. Like, what's Kanto gonna do? It is 3v5 though, so playing it passive is arguably the better play. But we've seen this 3 rounds in a row now where they just fall back instantaneously, giving a T2 so much respect. Or at the very least, just having a very passive win condition. You see, now Gorgona is playing really, really aggressive under kitchen hatch, falls back. That's the right decision. Had he been picked off, that would have been a bit of a shame. This should be an unwinnable round of D2 Esports. They have nowhere to breach, nowhere to go. It's 5v3 with crazy crossfires. With 20 seconds left. Should be mute jammers all over church. Yeah, unless Kaya goes absolutely nuclear, yeah. I was gonna say. They could have breached the kitchen hatch there. I don't think they wanted to, but they could have. Because they had pellets left on Nibbana. There's obviously no, like, hatch deny. There's no kite being played. Mute jammers don't reach it. But they just kind of walked down basement stairs and just kind of flopped. You know, they can't reach church. They don't have time to reach church. In that scenario, you're better off just fucking opening kitchen hatch. Maybe going third if you really wanted to, but... yeah, you can't go blue, really. That's not an option. Kanto had 14 pellets left? Yeah, he did. Or I think he did. Oh, Jess just said it. Why are we gonna put Kanto on Nibbana if he's gonna end the round with 14 pellets? Yeah, I mean, it's not really Kanto's fault, because it's more like the team dynamics of how you play the map. Something to note here. Kanto actually stays on the Hibana. He doesn't go ace. However, Uno does pick the smokes in Capital and get the fire for the catwalk. This is very, very nice from Uno. I would have loved to see Kanto go ace and then Uno 6 picking Capital anyway. I think that would have been perfect. It's not like a big deal. You do get the smokes and Capital, as I said, but I would still love to see ace over Hibana in this circumstance. But maybe they want the flashbangs? I don't know. I really don't know. Otherwise, we only have 3 flashbangs on the side of Jake against, you know, a Jaeger or my. That could be the explanation. Just flashbang. Thank you, China. The way he caps out clears the ramp. I mean, he just fires it, no?
See him step up a little bit more, but at the moment the scoreline dictates that he doesn't really need to. Kavana's the one that has to step up now.
So normally in this circumstance, you probably want to go Master Bedroom as C2 Esports, but obviously them 6-picking Capital says they're gonna go Catwalk again. And it's good that they go Catwalk again because they have a twist to it. It's not Uno jumping into CC window, trading one form of 1 It's Uno now picking the Capital in a 6-pick, which Kovana's not gonna know about until the fire comes out, and it gives them a whole new way of clearing Catwalk. The best way to do the same attack twice is to have a twist. Add a variance, right? Last time you pushed in, next time you nade him, or you bring Capital Fire, maybe you bring a Ying, or maybe you bring the Monty and you hard take Catwalk, because Monty and Catwalk in this specific circumstance would be absolutely nuts. They don't play Lesion, they don't play Frost. Monty can quite literally just walk up there and create havoc. The Capital is a great solution, however. Great addition. Thank you, Envy. The double reinforced Catwalk or Garage? I don't see that. I actually don't see that. Like, I'm looking at the Garage wall. It doesn't look double reinforced to me at all. It could be. I don't see it, but it could be. I'll see it very soon, if anything. Interesting C4. It is double reinforced. I don't see... There was this strat from Fnatic and APAC who had this strat where they would double reinforce off that exact wall as well. However, I don't think they played a Catwalk player on their strat. I could be wrong about that. Grizzly in this scenario is gonna die, and he knows it. Like, he's actually just wasting time. Normally, with this wall being open, you have crossfires and whatnot. You can kind of try and play around Grizzly's position. Grizzly is just a sacrificial lamp in this scenario. And then if you look at the lineup, they have 1C4, they have... Well, they already used 1C4 and Kindred this round. But you could have double C4 here and a smoke playing here. And you can try and just play for a very, very, very classic plant deny strat. Right? Because they would have to open up these walls and take time, etc. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what this is about. Maybe they're just mad they lost the previous round and they were like, ah, fuck it, dude, that rotate fucked us. I don't know. I don't see the logic behind reinforcing the wall off personally. Maybe they have... I guess they have a mute jammer on Catwalk, so Grizzly can now just worry about, you know, the garage stall and the garage breach below him. And because they double reinforced off the wall, the guy on the platform's server platform doesn't really have any angles besides through the window, which leads to top of the staircase, to actually deny this position. So maybe they just Grizzly wanted space to fight and to take the gunfights. I don't know. What I would love to see here, if this is the case from Kovana, have a guy in pits down here holding the garage walk up, have a guy in lounge to swing up, or at the very, 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 very least, what you can do is you can actually make holes in this lounge wall, then make holes in the floor here, and all the way back from cache, you can actually see this entire position. Meaning that Kento cannot walk into this area and start challenging Grizzly because of those holes. So Grizzly has no backup, no help, no crossfire, nothing. This is a bit weak, right? Because what's everyone else in Kovana doing? I mean, there's at least 4 guys around this garage. So no matter what you're doing as Kovana right now, you're not getting a whole lot of value, right? I guess Kokona ran out of strip. He got shut down by Kento. I guess that's kind of trying to help, but in a very aggressive and front and forward position. Kayak now kills Kendrew, who is playing deep on side, probably from the breach. And now the fire comes out towards the Catwalk player, and Chris is gonna get roasted all the way. Is he not even trying to move? Was he blinded, do you think? He must have been blinded. I think a flashbang popped right. Yeah, he must have been blinded. Man, this is getting fried out of his mind, dude. And so much for the sacrificial lamb. You don't get much value out of that. Now they're gonna go below lounge, and now they're gonna start making the holes, but the holes need to be made way early in the round by the shotgun players of Kindred and Arnarkick. Complete disaster on a strategical level here. That is such a shame. That is such a shame. They could have had so many different ways of helping Grizzly there. I mean, Grizzly would have died regardless of the fire and the flashbangs, no doubt. But they could have had so many other ways to actually further assist his positioning. And look at this. 38 seconds left. Let's say Kendrew and Arnarkick was alive. Let's say Gargona was alive and didn't run out strip with a C4. All of a sudden, you're playing 4 versus 4 in this particular circumstance, right? Or let's say you're playing 4 versus 5 if Kenta didn't die. You would have 2 C4s, 3 smoke grenades, 38 seconds left. This wall is still reinforced. Now you're actually not in that bad of a positioning, but they play this 1-4 split bomb side where Grizzly's a sacrificial player, but everyone's trying so hard to help him with over aggressive plays, and they all die. One guy died to the guy, 2 guys actually died to the guy rappelling breach. Grizzly guy died himself, and 1 guy died running out of strip. It screams very different mythology in what they're trying to achieve here. As I said when the round started, I thought it was going to be like a really slow-paced bomb deny strat. But it became like a overly aggressive, overly eager, trying to reach something you can't really reach here. Again, if you make holes in the lounge wall, and you make holes right here, right next to the green box, you can see through these holes, through the lounge wall, all the way into the bike and garage to further assist the catwalk position. But they run out strip. Can you ignore garage if catwalk is reinforced like that? No, you can't really ever ignore garage. Because you need garage to get into the bomb side. That's kind of what catwalk gives you. It's not so much catwalk as a position as an attacker that you care about. It's the fact that catwalk is the way you walk into the bomb site to start planting. And also, if you don't have catwalk control, then the deep door where radio is, they can always swing out that door and they can contest people, right? Whereas when you get catwalk control, you kind of lock down the bomb side of cache. Without catwalk, you only get a single angle from the sur breach. You can ignore garage if you go for a master bedroom take, where like you breach master, you breach server wall, and then you set up and execute based around that. So say you breach this wall, let's say it's server bomb side, right? You breach this wall, like this is soft usually, right? You have deep angle here, you have angles here, and then you have a guy server breach with the wall open. Now you can ignore catwalk, because you're not trying to get deep into bomb side. You can plant in the breach right here. Nobody can really see you. Sure, you can see forward or smoked from red, but besides that, you're pretty safe. Could die a vertical play, but unlikely. So in this scenario, the only thing that catwalk does is if the walls are soft, that is, you have an angle that goes in here. But again, the angle only works with a singular door. Once you get past the door, or if you plant in the breach, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, so Rainbow's Magic came out again. I guess it's the exact same thing. But yeah. I kind of wish they would have given us the same Halloween event last year with Doctor's Curse. Because I mean... Siege Rainbow event, it was great, but it wasn't like amazing. Whereas like, the Halloween event was insane, you know? I love Doctor's Curse. It was a great event. But yeah, execution T2 has been amazing so far. The synergy between like flashbangs, droning, and intel in general, and then executing off that intel has been really, really clear. And again, I don't want to say that, oh, Kayak made everyone drone better, but someone like Jake, for example, he spent half the round on drones in the gym attack on the office hatch, just getting out a bunch of info for his team. And D2 is really good at executing off information, whereas if you look at BDS, BDS is very good at working off no information, just getting out clutch scenarios, playing refrag. G2 kind of craves information to make those good decisions themselves. Another on a little bit of a different attack from D2, coming from strip, might sneak up main stairs or just try and take the first walk round. Could also kind of assist them taking a bathroom take, so it could be a straight gym, take bathroom, try and, you know, you deny the vertical play by having bar control on Uno, for example. That way you can ignore cache entirely, which is what they tried to do last round. We got a cheese angle from Grizzly. This is the worst angle to die to an attack, by the way. It is so frustrating dying to it. Why are poly games played on 6 defense, 6 attack? That's always how it's... Oh, well, that's... Not always. It's how it is, you know? That way it's like a side swap like CSGO where you play like a solid amount of rounds. It also means the banning phase has bigger impact because you play 6 attacks in a row or 6 defenses in a row. Whereas if you only play 3 rounds, then starting side wouldn't be as relevant. It could be interesting to have 3-round rotation and then introduce more rounds and best of ones. But it's a bit tricky to do, to be honest. It is a discussion we've had before, though, making it 3, 3 attack, 3 defense kind of scenario. We have discussed that before. And perhaps one day we'll test it out. Again, great utility usage from G2, isolating the solo player in Slough. They had him pinched completely both from the windows and from the verticality. Or Kindred, rather. I don't know where Slough died. But they got both. 2 for the price of 1. Gorgona is challenging below, playing that roam game against Citizen, which is very, very difficult. I still think Citizen wins this in almost every single circumstance. He's the better player for this position. Citizen has like the spider senses, you know? He's like, there's a guy down here. I know it. I just need to find him first. Slough died on server. Jake finds Kendrick. Nick is injured. Double kill goes out to Jake. Office control has been achieved. Gorgona shutdowns Kenzo from jumping in the pool window. And now Ben knows exactly where this player is. The call will come out sure that the last guy's down below and the execute will go up on side. Bomb was coming down as well, something to note. In a safe position from C4, halfway through. So it's very nice. They take down control with a bunch of people. Citizen stays there to just kind of lurk around in a super passive corner. Doesn't overstay his welcome. Kind of baits Kenzo. I mean, they thought it was clear. I mean, I'm sure Ben thought that he had cut the map in half like this. But Gorgona had already slipped past Ben early in the round. And therefore shut down Kenzo in the window jump in. But Kenzo was not the guy with diffuser, so it's not a very big deal. Kenzo, if anything, is jumping in, taking sure that there's someone in construction or connector holding the angles and denying it with execute. So it comes in quite clearly for them. If anything, Kenzo dying to Gorgona is just kind of like, oh, last guy's below. Like, not a big deal. And it just doesn't matter. Whereas if Kenzo had diffuser and he jumped in and died, you know, not only is he exposed from like server window when getting flanked and one jumped out on, but also when he jumps in, diffuser's not left in like this awkward position. So very good diffuser management from G2 as well. Kovana again playing their cards a little bit iffy. They didn't really have anything to answer with. They're getting picked off constantly just because G2 has a bunch of information from droning. Not much you can do about it. Maybe try and just look for the drones more. I don't know. They're getting kind of out-rotated by G2 on the map in general. When is the Rainbow event coming out? I don't know, sir. I think it's today. That's what I was told. Thank you, Guardians. Did we have a rehost here? I think so. Or a crash, maybe? A reconnect? Oh, Gorgona is in chat. Mr. Gorgona. His name is not Gorgona. To be fair, the scoreline is 1-4, but if you look at the rounds, this could have easily been like a... I want to say a 3-3, but it's round 6, you know? It could easily be, you know, 2-3, 4-2, etc. It could have been in a lot of different ways. Scoreline screams G2 dominating Kovana, but, you know, it's very, very small things. Oh, the CCTV window was peeking pool window. I didn't say that. Han Solo said you died in server. That's what he said, and I said, I guess. I didn't know where you died. All I know was that Sloth died, or Kenju? Kenju got injured from the nade between the windows. Oh, that was Sloth? He died last? Oh, sorry. Wait, what do you mean Gorgona died pool window? Ben killed you. What do you mean? You died to Citizen right here. That's you running away like a little scared girl, no? It is. What do you mean? Am I missing something? Oh, the Gary's defense. Oh, okay. Well, Jess said you ran out of strip. That's what Jess said. I didn't see where you died. But Jess said that you ran out of strip, so I was like, oh, I guess she knows. To be fair, running out of strip, peeking pool window, potato, potato. With the 1 second run out timer changed, you're probably better off peeking pool window these days than running out of strip. I'll give you that. I was simply just following on what Jess was saying there. I thought she knew better than I did. Turns out we're both fucking clueless, dude. To be fair, no one... I mean, I don't think the screen showed it even. I think we just both assumed you ran out of strip. The spectator didn't catch you. What is this emote? Popcat. Okay, dude. Okay. We're back on basement defense from Kovana. G2 gonna roam clear from top, taking off from gym, office hatch. Kenji with a slight early roam on Vigil. About to be pinched in the butt cheeks by his UK fellow lad, but before that happens, gets shut down by Virgil from the window, and Ben finds Gorgona instead. What exactly were we trying to achieve here? This window angle has been contested every single round from D2, so I'm gonna go and assume that Kovana was contesting this with the intention of getting an early pick. Because they know the angle exists, they've used it every single round. And it did look like Kenji was challenging it with the angle. And then Gorgona for refrag, I guess. Gets flanked from kitchen, unlucky. Once again, just Ben being in the right place at the right time. Playing the lurk wonderfully. Now, in this circumstance, I think it's safe to assume as G2 that there's no further roamers top floor. That's what I'll be like, you know, we killed 2 guys. Probably no one's roaming. The drones will be coming through first. We do see people droning here, so just a matter of time before Sloth gets found out as well. And that's why Grizzly and Anarchy are pushing up, trying to establish some crossfires and refragability. Sloth does get one, gets traded back by Jake, and now the flank comes. A bit missing, a little bit late, because if we're looking at this, I'm pretty sure Anarchy's gonna get slaughtered in 1 second, and then I think Grizzly's gonna kill Jake. That's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. Anarchy didn't die though. I got that wrong. But yeah, the flank was just a little bit too late there. The help from the teammates. When Jake dies in this position, the first thing's gonna say, "There's no one on site. The last 2 guys are upstairs." So G2 can play off this if they want to and see if they can rush down to site. They do know that Anarchy is injured, so they know they have time to work with. And that's why you see Kai probably gonna be rushing down their stairs. Kento already deep in blue. And Grizzly has the decision of, does he run back to side first? Does he revive? And as I said, that G2 Esports has found the bomb B. Grizzly and Anarchy can now assume that they are on the bomb side and they're fucked. And they are, you know? It's over. Thing is, I'm playing 3 EUL matches. I feel like I don't even get destroyed that much aim-wise. It's more like this round bad decision making. Yeah. EUL is not much about gunfights unless you're playing against BDS. What about you? I took 1, yeah. I didn't know that. You've been taking a lot, so I thought I would take my share. You can go to the pharmacy. It's open. Is it not? I'm broken. You're broken? Now, most of Pro League games aren't about aim. It's mostly about strategy, decision making. I mean, if you look at a team like Dark Zero or G2, we can plant 9 out of 10 attacks and just win based off strategy, right? If you look at how G2 played Consulate in their second play day and how confidently and cleanly they can set up, execute on bomb sites. If you look at this game, I mean, they're setting up really, really well with a mixture of Kovana making some small mistakes or leaving some rooms or just losing gunfights. But generally speaking, if you play the strategy correctly, you're set up for success. And then the aim comes on top of that. And, you know, if you're Citizen, if you're Kanto, if you're like a really good gunner, let's say you're Shaiko, you can shut people down who are trying to do something strategically by just outgunning them. But on Clubhouse, it's not really a gunner map. Consulate, Oregon, Coastline, much more gunner maps than Clubhouse itself. Clubhouse is like 85% strategy. And then it's like 5% gunfights and 10% luck and timing. If you have your theory on paper down to a T, you should be picking apart these attacking rounds really, really consistently as an attacker. Like, there's a higher skill cap for being an attacker than defender, because the defenders need to react. So as long as you play the attack really well, there's nothing to react to, really. What a nade, by the way. What a nade, dude. At the very edge of the nade explosion, with very little health left, gets obliterated by it. But that's the thing. I think Kovana has really good game theory. Like, I think that's why they won Challenge League, and I think that's why someone like Kayak got picked up from D2. Kayak came from Kovana himself, and now they're playing against each other on Play 3, so... Kovana also lost a bit by losing Kayak, obviously. Kayak was a part of their in-game leading, as well as they had a pretty stable core for a long time. So they have to mesh with a new player now. D2 is much more experienced, they have veteran players, and they can probably incorporate Kayak into their lineup a lot faster than Kovana can, you know, fetch up with Kenju. Just because, like, D2 has so many fucking resources. Like, we have fucking 100 map callout sheet, strat sheet, like, everything. If you join D2, Shaz will send you this massive, you know, Google document with everything. And if you study that, you will be up to speed in like a few weeks. When we picked up Kanto back in the day, before Kanto flew to our bootcamp, Kanto already knew most of our callouts. Because Kanto had studied the callouts from that Google spreadsheet or whatever. I'm sure Kayak's the same. A hungry young player gets picked up by, you know, one of the biggest teams in Europe. I'm sure that he studied the paper. Which is why he's meshing in so well so quickly, outside of just being a great player, of course. Poach the competition. I mean, it's not so much poach the competition. It's not like we poached Kayak and then I left because I got replaced. Like, I left months ago, and then they were trialing a couple of players, and Kayak was like our first priority. Like, before we even trialed anyone, Kayak was like, I think, our #1 priority. We had like 3 or 4 players in mind to replace me, but Kayak made the most sense. Yeah, Kenzo's ends a long time ago. Kenzo had a week or something before Paris Major? No, not Paris Major. It was not South Carolina. It was for the Vegas tournament. The freaking the first NA tournament we played. Atlantic City. Atlantic City. We played with Kenzo as a stand-in because Shate couldn't play. Shate couldn't come, so we called up ends. We're like, yo, can we borrow Kanto for an event in like 5 days? And they're like, I guess. So we flew Kanto to Germany to bootcamp with us for a few days. And we went to the grand finals and lost against Liquid. Back when, you know, Lion, Dokkaebi, and there weren't any ban phase. We shoulda, woulda, coulda won that grand final, but we did lose. But that was with like 3 days of practice with Kanto. I swear, it was insane. And then we went to win invite with Kenzo, of course, afterwards. And we picked up Kenzo after playing with him at that event. And then he replaced Shati, right? Yeah, we lost to Lion and Ying. We lost to fucking Lion, Ying, and Dokkaebi that tournament. It was the most depressing tournament to play. Lion was broken, Dokkaebi was broken, and there wasn't any banning phase. So you had to just deal with it. We got banning phase, I believe, right after the event. But losing a grand final to fucking Lion, Dokkaebi, dude. I mean, Liquid played it really fucking well. Like, they were really good at abusing those operators. And nobody in Europe really did that so well. But it felt so bad to lose. Because despite Liquid being a great team and great players, we felt like we were losing to the game more than, like, Liquid as a team, if that makes sense. But if anything were to win that wasn't us, I'm so happy it was Liquid. That's an NDS, my guy. Okay. I was really happy that Liquid won, if anything. Yellow meta was fun, or Jam knows. So Kovana actually going for a blue attack here, or at least a split take on blue. I love to see this. So it's a split take blue with Church. Anarchic is a little bit front heavy here. His blue comrades are very deep, but the time is also running low. This all comes down to gunfights, and I assume that D2 will win this. Actually, Anarchic in a strong position. Okay, great. Wall is close behind him, and Jake can't flank at all. Blue control has been established by the race of Gorgona, and he has a teammate on Jukebox holding freeway. This is a really strong position. Gorgona getting smoked off, probably forced to walk in. If anything, Gorgona here is kind of like a bait tool who's wasting time. They can sacrifice that, making the 3 versus 2 essentially. That's fine. If this shield gets taken out, that's actually nice. Jake makes the rotate into freeway, but again, the wall is close behind them, so that doesn't matter. Ben finds the frag onto Mr. Grizzly. Now it's a 2v2, but the attackers have the advantageous position. That's what matters the most. With this being closed, it is closed. Did he shoot the jammer and open the wall? Did he actually shoot this jammer and open up this wall with his teammate playing in jukebox? He's trolling. The reason why this is so good is because this wall is closed. Oh no. Like, Jake comes with the perfect timing flank, shotgun into freeway. As the kill happens on Ben, as we saw earlier. And as the ace charge goes out, I mean, it's not like he's even trying to go out. He's not watching this angle trying to leave to play main stairs. He's sitting on minibar watching freeway. And look where Kenju's playing, sitting on jukebox, you know? Oh, yeah, that sucks. I think there's miscommunication, like assuming Kenju was gonna play after plan for main stairs. I mean, of course. I mean, obviously, what you're gonna see as a spectator is like a massive mistake, right? But if you're playing in the round, obviously, who's playing ace? Anarchic obviously had a very good idea or reasoning as to why he did this, right? You can say, yo, Kenju, I'm gonna plant, and then you go play main stairs. But the issue is, like, either it wasn't said, maybe it wasn't heard, maybe Kenju was like, nah, I'm good here, trust. Either way, you know, opening up that wall, and then, like, because the thing is, Anarchic is the guy playing in the back. He knows where Kenju's playing because Kenju's in the front. So Anarchic in this position is the guy to make the shots happen. You know, he has to be like, yo, Kenju, you go here, I go there. Again, Kenju here, Anarchic here. Anarchic should know that Kenju is here, whereas Kenju should know that Anarchic is in this area, but not maybe sure exactly where. If Kenju had gone back out all the way to main stairs, you could argue that making up this line of sight is actually not the end of the world. But there's also the risk of them doing what Jake did, which is they can make a rotate in back B. Right? I'm pretty sure what happened is that because... Let me get the line of sight here that I can get. Because Kenju is in this position that he is, I'm pretty sure that if you're Kovana, you assume that this entire area is clear because Kenju has held this angle for at least 15 seconds or so. The thing is, Jake was already deep in back B, which means that he can make a rotate on the soft wall and then go for the flank. Whereas on Kovana, they're both gonna be in this area that I've boxed in here, because Kenju's cut the rotate in half. So it's just a mixture of like lack of info or like assumptions that are wrong. Obviously, you can say that when they hear the shotgun go out from Jake, they should assume he's making this rotate. Maybe they didn't hear the shotgun. Maybe they were talking a lot. I don't know. What's C102? Oh, did they type it in chat? I can explain it if they typed it. They did type it? I'm waiting for it. Oh, C102 is... C102 is... It's... Ben and Citizen used to share apartment. And C102 is a meme from that. It's like, C102, baby! It's like, you know, because they live together. So yeah, it's... They meme about that. They don't anymore, so it's like an old meme, but... They used to live together in that apartment. It's a meme that we've had a couple of times. It's like their duo name, yeah. Whenever they clutch, it's always C102! C102, man, let's go! Every time, dude. If they clutch a 2vx, they always say that. Or like if they're both gunning, like let's say like they're both on 15 kills on Consulate, they'll be like C102, dude. Always, always. C102 is nasal spray? Oh, nice, dude. Jake and Ben? Yeah, I think I might have said the same guy's name twice. It's like the move, baby? Yeah. Oh, what? We see a spicy Amaro. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Kenju is now doing what we call running it down, where if you can lose the round faster, the pain will go away sooner. So we're 6 picking off, was it the ace? Sorry, the Ayana into the Amaru here. I'm sure he has another reason, like, you know, you can do some crazy shit like go up gym hatch, go up connect the hatch, play a little bit more unorthodox, but yeah. Amaru is always spicy. G2 playing the same way as Kovana, extending out into cache area. Probably gonna put in a mirror window in office as well. And the last mirror window likely go into bathroom. That way you're extending out to both sides of the map. And you have a pretty strong foundation in the center of it. The Frost is great here. You get a shotgun, get a shield, get a decent primary weapon. You get the same value than playing Smoke, except that you get SMG-11 and shotgun. Here you get the fucking Frost weapon plus shotgun. And it's a bit more stable. Actually, double mirror window on Jacuzzi side. Okay, you know. This could be to try and deny them from actually opening up Jacuzzi wall by simply having either impacts or C4s, or just denying the Maverick from going there at least. Kenju going below, probably again for the gym hatch. Note, Kenju has diffuser. Very, 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 very important. Kenju has diffuser. Something's gonna happen with this, because why on earth would you give Amaru the diffuser if she's gonna be lurking in basement alone, right? So, are we gonna go up gym hatch and do something crazy here? I don't know, but probably. Probably. The double mirror window is gonna give Grizzly a bit of a hard time though, and that's probably gonna slow them down a bit. You know, as Farrell said, he's got the bomb. They 100% gonna do a fast plant. Yeah, 100%. If Kenju didn't have diffuser, you could easily like look away from this, and like Kenju could be like the enabler of the strat. But Kenju is the strat in this circumstance. Has a flank jump below. They're getting open the first layer of the mirror window. Uno doesn't have impacts to really deal with this. He has a C4 he could use if he wanted to. This wall will be opened regardless. Having the smokes on ace here is what's going to save the round for them most likely. There should be a jammer here. No jammer? No jammer? On the mirror window? Okay, so slight strategical error from T2 here. There should have been a jammer either on this wall and this wall, or at least on this mirror window. Regardless. First lead is a kill to cancel. Very nice. Open up the round. That is the third poncho that Grizzly himself made like 5 rounds earlier. Very interesting here. So now all of a sudden they're actually set up pretty well for success. Grizzly can cut off this entire angle into bathroom. Once they know it's clear, all they gotta worry about is now the master bedroom itself. Note they don't have server control, so the window peaks are going to be difficult, and jumping in with frost traps against them as well is also gonna put another obstacle in their way. Getting in from Jacuzzi here is probably your safest bet. Or if you can get window control with a guy covering the flank, also great. This Banshee is gonna make noise when Kenju goes in, unless they can clear it. That would be nice. There it is, it gets cleared, and now they can go in. When you go with Amaru here, you want to try and like block the sound with flashbangs or grenades, or, you know, trying to make it less obvious what's going on. Once you hear that Amaru go out, you're probably going to assume as D2 that they are indeed going for a gym plant. Smoke comes out, Jake's in the rotate. There's a bit iffy positioning here. Kenju is right next to him, and there's no cover to be had. No, Kenju. No one's covering the windows. No one's covering the rotate, and now, moments after, Grizzly is running into his own death. So who was supposed to cover this, boys? Who are we blaming? Anarchic punched the window a second too late. Doesn't have the rotate. Sledge holding server window. Doesn't have the rotate. Grizzly holding the bathroom angle. Doesn't have the rotate. It actually would have been GG. Jake got the timing, sneak past Anarchic, and denies the planter. Absolutely satch. Do you note Uno was below in pool table with another C4? He didn't know where exactly they planted, but, you know, with a bit of a guessing game here, Uno would have likely C4'd Kenju as well. It's just bad timing on Anarchic. He peeked the window as Jake went through, so they went like ring around the rosies type scenario. But it makes all the difference. And that's what we spoke about earlier. It's, 85% stratting, 5% gunfights, and 10% timing and luck. If Anarchy had had a better timing on that one, which is like down to luck and whatnot, that would have been a very different round, possibly. But it's also where the Frost comes in so big for D2, because with Frost traps being on all like window entries here, they can't just jump in and help out Kenju planting. When Kenju dies, the only other guy that can take his spot is Grizzly, because he's the only guy that can get into the building. So, and then Grizzly dies to Jake as well, so now no one can go into the building. And then it gets real messy real fast. Can you surrender in Pro League? No. Not only can't you surrender, but if you think about it, why would you, right? You can win a 1v5. That's happened before. I mean, obviously in this scenario, when you're Anarchy, you could surrender, but like, what's the point? You know, like, what is the point? You're playing for money, playing to win. You're always going to give it your best. You're never, ever going to surrender. Maybe one of your teammates might be tilted and be like, yeah, fuck this game, guys. But then you tell them to shut the fuck up and play the game or quit the fucking team, you know? You're never gonna surrender. Never ever. I mean, think about it. Let's say you're D2, you know, you get paid a full-time salary. Like, why would you surrender a game? Like, it makes no sense. You're being paid regardless, you know? It sucks to lose, but you're not even losing if you're surrendering. You're just fucking giving up. You gotta take the L, man. You gotta take the L. I mean, there's been some rounds that have been clutched where you're like, that's impossible, you know? Virtue's falling side shooting is 200 IQ. I mean, to be fair, Virtue is not shooting because he doesn't know where the guy is planting. Virtue has SMG 11, which means 17 bullets. If Jake goes for a shot here and he misses, not only will he die in a second from Grizzly, or maybe the window guy will just jump in and kill him or peek the window, but he also has bullets to fight the other guy. If Jake emptied his magazine through the smoke to killing this guy, he would have no bullets for the guy who's gonna come in from the breach or the window afterwards. So going for the C4 here not only guarantees to kill the guy no matter where he's planting in this entire corner, but it also means he has a weapon ready that's not a shotgun to further take another gunfight after the fact. Right? So you see for this, comes out, and now he can fight the other guy, which is exactly what happens. He doesn't have to stress it or drop or anything else. He can continuously pin his position. While a lot of pro players play on a low sense, accuracy. Lower sense is generally more accurate, gives you more control, and also in Pro League, you're not... Like in rank, playing a higher sense is what I would say recommendable. Because in rank, there's a lot of randomness and flicking around and solo fighting. Pro League is so structured. You know what rooms are clear, you know what rooms are not clear, and most of the time when you take a gunfight, you also know pretty much exactly where the enemy is. And having a lower sense gives you that, you know, super close crosshair. This is your crosshair, right? You can fight really successfully within these degrees. Whereas if you play a super high sense, you know, you can fucking flick a guy over here, flick a guy over there, and just spin around, but you don't need to flick like that. Like, you're always, it's like CSGO, you're always fighting within your line of sight. You're almost never 180 fighting someone unless you get the call, oh, someone's flanking, you know? And again, in that case, you can just flick the 180, reset your mouse, and then you can take the gunfight because information game. If you're playing Apex Legends or Fortnite or Overwatch, where it's very fast-paced and it's very, like, it's dynamic maps, like it's open world maps, so to speak, with, like, verticality and a fucking Pharah flying and a Mercy flying, and the only thing flying in this game are C4s, and they fly in, like, this very linear curve, and they're very easy to shoot because they have very slow trajectory speed. So, high sense is not recommendable in this game. For Fortnite, Apex, Overwatch, you typically do have a average higher sense than in Siege and CSGO. Same with like Call of Duty, you know, there's a lot of flicking around and shooting and fighting and running. In that game, you probably would also typically play a higher sense if you were a PC player. I know that it's mainly on console. But for these kind of games, like Escape from Tarkov, Siege, CSGO, having a lower sense makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Same with that game like Battlefield. Again, a higher sense game. Makes pretty good sense. There's a lot of reason behind it. What did the vote go, by the way? Did we vote what game to watch next? I didn't see it if we did. What's my sense? I'm currently playing what would be 6-6 46, I think it is. So it's a pretty average sense of Pro League. Rogue and VP. Okay. Rogue VP. I didn't see this game either. I didn't see any of these games. I saw a little bit of train out videos, I think. Lower sense is higher sense. I don't know about that statement. I believe Rogue wins this. I could be wrong. It's a pretty fast game. It's an Oregon. Pog. Have fun comes out in chat. That's very important. Having fun. If you're not having fun, then what's the point of playing the game? It's 8th, 7th, yeah. Okay. Live ranking, very nice. So we often see Thatcher Maverick bans on Oregon. We see the Thatcher coming out. Now Virtus Pro can take a challenge and say, we also want to ban the Maverick. Now I believe Virtus Pro themselves do play the Maverick. I could be wrong. But that's what my memory tells me. So unless they don't want to challenge that, they could. They do challenge it. They say goodnight. None of us can play it. VP is starting defense. That could have swayed their decision making, seeing as they don't want Rogue to have that Maverick coming out of the gate. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Valkyrie ban. We've seen them all across the board the entire day. You can also see Maestro and Mira being banned. VP themselves, not a huge fan of Mira, so not them banning it, but very much could have been. This match is bizarre, yeah? Nobody ever says good luck? No, of course not. Of course not. Actually, VP banned Thatcher because VP starting defense. That's my bad. Right? Yeah. I had it the wrong way around, actually. Rogue banned it. Which makes a lot more sense because VP likes playing it. Yeah, there we go. It makes a lot more sense. I was gonna say VP banning is kind of weird except for the side defense, but they can't. So yeah, Rogue bans the VP's Maverick. There we go. Thank you, Anne, for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Kite ban isn't surprising. Now, when you see a Thatcher being banned and a Maverick being banned, you also ban the Kite because otherwise you can't open up the electric hatch on basement ever. Opening up server hatch is difficult. And just, you know, generally breaching anything becomes a fucking nightmare. The biggest strategical part of the map becomes how the hell do we clear the Kite Claw? And that's not a very fun game to play, right? So by banning the Kite, when the Maverick and the Thatcher are banned, it gives you the option to play strategically around, you know, opening the breach and then setting up the execute. Whereas before it's just about the Kite Claw. If Kite was open, still you can only open like one hatch for execute. I mean, the only hatch you can open on basement consistently would be the lobby hatch, which is like the least important hatch there is on this bomb site. You can get the freezer hatch, yes. You cannot get electric hatch. Like, it is basically impossible to clear that Kite Claw. Because you can put the claw inside the bomb site and it gets the hatch through the wall. You can put the claw like here inside the bomb site and it gets the hatch. And you need to nade basically here from either tower stairs or by outside blue. Like, it's a complete nightmare. Maybe if you open up the soft wall, if they don't reinforce it, and you ADS clear like this, and then nade hit the door frame, then nade lands here, maybe it kill, you know, like, it's super messy. Super messy. So banning Kite makes the game more linear. Everybody likes that. Same with the Maverick, the Mirror, and the Thatcher. And it means that mute is super beneficial, which means that mute is probably gonna get played every single round, at least for both top floor and basement. He's kind of optional for meeting and dining. Exactly, mentality. We call it E-box. Called electric. I mean, same thing, right? Electric box? Electric. Or just a Twitch. You can't, sir, this is a professional game. You can't just drive a Twitch drone past 4 players like you're in a quick match against silver players. If you have a Kite Claw inside the bomb site here, you gotta drone the Twitch drone down like this. Or from blue in like this. You're not gonna get a Twitch drone that far. There's 2 players here. There's 2 players here. There's a player here. There is no way you're getting a Twitch drone this deep into bomb site ever. You can even put a Kite Claw here outside the building, and that's gonna electrify the inside elbow walls, which are probably more in the lines of here. But yeah, you can put a Kite Claw outside here, and they can actually get the walls from outside. That one you can Twitch drone if you know it's there. But you're never, ever gonna Twitch drone those Kite Claws ever. Ever. And Kali doesn't work in this scenario either. Maybe if you play Twitch Elite, it could work. Is Corey just full sending it onto side? Hello? Where is Virtus Pro on this defense? No one's playing tower, no one's playing pillar. Okay. Now Corey's playing slow, waiting for refrag here for his teammates most likely. We don't have blue dot open yet, and oh my goodness, dude. Electric hatch is open because they're roaming in meeting. Aces with a bit of an unlucky timing gets the refrag on the less. Leon also getting a frag out from Corey's body. Raze will have to fight Rask on the flank here. And Rask shoots a bit early. Leon rips know the flank is coming in deep, but still wins the gunfight nonetheless. Leon has the fuses, so Psy can still be executed upon the no one roamers in tower. So all they gotta do is Aces and Leon gotta figure out the frags on sites, and the bomb can shortly be going down. Corey has the flank on tower and electric hatch. And just like that, it's a 2 vs 2. Absolute nightmare, but Corey wins the fight again. And Rask is now 1v2 from tower side. They should know it's either tower or electric hatch. So all Corey has to do here is bet the time. Play it slow, play prone, and the diffuser was going down from Leon as well, so nice. Corey proning here is actually giga play, especially with Diana. Her head is like gray-white, and so is like the entire room. It's so hard to see. It's a bit of also timing early in the round for Corey, because here we face a bit of like hesitation or like the unknown, like do they know we're inside? Do they not? Okay, you know, it's a bit messy. Or Corey could have easily been killed off right here, and then the entire round probably plays out differently. Note that the blue double door is still closed, so they can get swung from elbow. Aces has yet to flank the meeting hatch, but he does very, very shortly after. So the entire thing is like super timing based, right? This guy drops the server hatch to assist the guy playing freezer very well. And then like the trades come out, like Leon gets the guy in blue, Aces flanks the guy in meeting. So it's kind of smart, like Rogue baits out the positions in the initial gunfights, and then Rogue answers back with the refrags by sacrificing the one guy, and then it plays out pretty well. Bit of a miss though, because typically when you play Oregon, you'll have a defender on cams, and they'll see what cameras outside are getting destroyed. So whenever this round starts, someone like VTG or Rask maybe, when the round starts on the 0 marker, they'll go onto the cams, and you have junkyard cam, you have front parking cam, and you have construction cam, and you can only kill each camera from their respected spawn. I mean, sure, you can spawn parking and kill construction and junkyard, but it's gonna take you a few seconds. So based off how fast those default cams die, you can basically say which side of the map that the attackers are going for. And seeing as the construction cam died instantly and the big tower cam died right after, that indicates that Rogue is going for a big tower blue take, which is exactly what happened. Obviously, Aces flanked lobby side, which was great on his end, but playing a 4-1 split is very common. Thank you, Osakar, for the 5 months, sir. Now we're barricading the doors. So like, hey, please no, not again. So yeah, if you're on cams now as a defender, which no one currently is that I can see, you will realize that certain cameras dies are fast. So construction cam's already dead, and there's 4 players here. This means that the junkyard camera is most likely not shot yet, but the parking cam is. If that's the case, you can say it's a 4-1 take or a 2-2 take or a 2-3 take. Basically implying that they're going lobby and tower side, but once you know where the most amount of people are, that's the side they're actually going for. So the second the blue door gets opened and this big tower cam dies, you can say as VP, hey, it's a big tower blue take again. But it requires you to watch the default cams when the round starts. Otherwise, you're not going to know it. You see, if you're holding cams right now and you see they're joining like tier 1, big tower, again, now you know it's a tower take. It should be that simple, right? They're still setting up. They're still reinforcing the hatch in attic right now into meeting. And it's the same thing as the previous round. Corey runs down the stairs, gets the Banshee. Same fashion. No one's holding default cams. This time, they were a bit ready a little bit earlier. Nate comes out instead. Beautiful answer from Corey to spice things up. And now they can comfortably sit in pillar and take blue, and then start figuring out what are we going to do. Aces is sneaking up in lobbies again. Now they just need to get an opening somewhere on the map. They somehow got electric again for free. The fact that Leon gets elbow is gonna make the entire difference in this round. And Ace is sneaking back into backside. It's gonna open up everything for Rogue very shortly. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets both kills here. Oh, dude, nice shot from Pasha. It would have been a bigger kill to kill this guy than the box guy, because this guy is cutting down the entire side push, besides Kasega holding hedge, of course. So if Rogue can just push now and play the refrag game, they're gonna end up at man advantage regardless. Kasega drops, Rask falls back. Kasega kind of drops into his own death here, but he kind of has to because this bomb is going down on side. But once again, VP playing this really overstretched basement roam game where they're still reinforcing the hatches 20 seconds into the round, leaving so many angles and positions open for Rogue to just exploit. Also, Leon got a shave. Very nice, Leon. You look so much younger. It's like when I shave. I go from looking 25 to looking 18. Leon went from looking 24 to looking 17. Very nice.
All that Leon is waiting to do there, remember, he's not an entry fragger for Rogue anymore. He's got the diffuser in hand. He's playing support. So at that point, you've effectively got Leon sat, and this is...
I know Kasega does that. Kasega plays in a weird position. He plays above his monitor. Like, he plays like above it. And he looks down. Like he's death staring his own monitor. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before. Normally you sit like close, like front heavy, but he sits straight back and looks down. Or like this, like he looks down with his eyes, but not so much with his head. It's like he's having like a chicken fight with his monitor, like who's gonna back off first, you know? And they both refuse. Because like it's a monitor, like it doesn't have feelings. Why is smoke shield backwards in the corner? It's easier to see through shields if they're put backwards because of how the lighting affects the window slits. So it's not very commonly done by most pro teams, but you should be putting your shields backwards in some positions because you can then easier see through them as a defender. Most people don't bother with it. It's such a minor thing, but that is the reasoning for it. It's just easier to see. Thank you, Whiskey. Rask now playing big tower, but it's a kid's defense. Obviously, Rogue are gonna go small tower instead now. Note that they don't have Sophia, they only have the Ash. They have limited vertical play, no buck inside. They do have 4 nades, so they can very much rain terror from below if they so want to. And by the looks of it, it is gonna be like a big window, white stairs, vertical kind of take. Pretty much need to get some value with the grenades because you don't have enough verticality otherwise. I mean, to be fair, with 3 Ash charges, if you can spare all 3 of them, you can do a lot of pain. But by the looks of it, that's not the case because Ace is a lobby guy. Remember when deployable shield was the worst gadget in the game? Do you remember when barbed wire was the best secondary gadget in the game? Barbed wire was insane, shields was bad, there was no bulletproof, no impacts, no beat boops. It's a long time ago. Barbed wire required 3 punishes, 3 melees, as well as they would slow you down a lot more and make a lot more sound. And shields, on the other hand, were borderline useless. But not useless, they just weren't overpowered. Because you're hiding behind it, you can't see. Again, white stairs gets pushed up. Crosshair from big window. Aces finds 2 entry frags. Very beautiful entry from him. Rogue just running all over Virtus Pro every single round so far. Oh, Leon has no bump cover in this scenario. Both of his teammates are down the white stairs. That could have actually turned ugly real quick. Had to hit the middle of the barbed wire as well. Yeah, it was harder to kill them. I think that is the biggest issue with barbed wire is, one, they don't make sound, but also you can punch them from like so far away. If I buy the visual bundle, will I get a share from it? Yes, sir. So how the pilot program skins work, Thani, is that whenever you buy a skin, like a pilot program skin, Ubisoft gets 70% of the money. And then the organization that owns the skin, so in this case G2, we get 30% of that money. And then after that, then the organization will share that 30% with the players. So let's say, a random number like 50. The org then gets 50% of the 30%, and the players get the 50% of the 30%, right? And then each player will get like 1/6 to 1/7 of that part, right? So when you look at it, it's not as big of a number as it could be, but it's still good money, right? It's still good money. Do taxes get taken out of that? Mr. Whimsy, you pay taxes on any kind of money you make. Whether you're a freelance caster, a pro league player, whether it's pilot program money, whether it's prize money, whether you have an OnlyFans account showing your hard nipples to people online, you pay taxes on it. So yes, after I get my percentage, I then pay taxes on it, and that's my final number. So, mathematically speaking, what do the players get? Is it 12.5% or something like that? Like 11%, something. I don't know. I don't know what the exact math is. We did the math like a long time ago, based off how many ways you split it. But after taxes and everything else, there's not that much money left. I don't think I can legally share how much money I've made, but it's good money, especially if you're not like a streamer or a YouTuber like Bolo and myself. If you don't have like another way, like side income, it's really good money. Like, it's really good money. Obviously, G2, we're a big org. We probably have some of the best sales in the league. I don't know anyone else's numbers. I just know G2's numbers, so I have no comparison. But I would assume that G2 and TSM, and maybe even Dark Seer with that spicy weapon skin, that they probably make some of the most amount of sales generated. Given that Dark Seer doesn't have a uniform, they can't make as much revenue unless they outsell the weapon skin by many, many times over, right? But basically, it's good money. It's kind of like you're winning invitationals, so like you're winning like a Paris major, once a year. Like, you get a fat amount of cash if you have a lot of sales. So it's kind of like winning an extra event a year. Like, not invitationals, it's like 3 million, but you get like some grant in your pocket. It all depends on sales, You could in theory make $100, and you can also make $10,000, because the more money you make is based off how many skins you sell. So it's completely arbitrary in that regard. VP is now lashing back, trying to take every single gunfight, and as fast goes the flick onto the drone. Aces says no, and now Pasha is left alone with no hatch to drop, has to swing the hallway, run back into the kitchen, and if you don't make a decision as Pasha instantaneously, you are going to die. The second your comrade die right here, you're better off going out this way and pre-aiming the hallway here than to just sit around on server, because you're gonna get pinched by both people. And now you gotta take a really terrible gunfight all of a sudden. So Pasha has to make a decision a little bit earlier here. Hatch got opened, fair play. Somebody saved him. That's very well done. Kazeka opened it from top floor, I believe it looked like. That works. That works. But no, I mean, pilot program is a great incentive for big orgs like TSM, like G2 to be in Siege, because they can get some, return on their investment. Siege is not a cheap game to be a part of anymore. The salaries in Siege right now, they range from, in EU and NA and whatnot, you're paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per player per month. Plus some orgs cover housing if you have like a living facility or anything of the kind. Plus you're covering boot camps once a season to travel the entire team to one country to practice together. So you're spending a fair bit of money every single month, up towards, 30, 40K every single month just on having players to play the game. And not a lot of teams have big streamers or big YouTubers to make money back with said investment. So pilot program making some money back for orgs is a great reason for why they want to stick around, and it's a great way for orgs to further invest into Siege and advertise the game to then generate more sales, to then generate more money, to then get more money back into their pockets, right? It's a really good ecosystem. It's something that other games don't do as well, I would say. Siege is one of the most Not profitable games, because I don't think anyone's making profit. But it's probably one of the most cost-efficient games to be a part of. It's up there for sure. It's not amazing. It's not terrible, but it's good. Thank you, Marit, for the sub, sir. Thank you, Slash, as well. Liquid is playing shit. Is player shitload. Keep in mind that Liquid is a Brazilian team. So the value of like the money they get is a lot higher. Like making $4,000 in Brazil is a lot more money than making $4,000 in America or Europe, right? So Liquid, I don't believe they get like the highest paycheck of any team, but the money that they make versus cost of living in their country is really, really good, obviously. Like if you're Cloud9 and you have a team in APAC, you pay them pennies compared to what you pay, you know, let's say your TSM or Dark Zero in North America, but they still both have a pilot program slot, right? So Fnatic and Cloud9 both have APAC teams where like the salaries are lower, but the value they get is still really high. Whereas having a team in the most, you know, present regions of EU and NA, it's very expensive, but you also get more back from it, so to speak. More viewership on Pro League tournaments, bigger player names, bigger content creators possibly. But you also pay more money, so everything's bigger, right? Because if you look at Cloud9 and what they pay their players compared to, let's say, G2 or TSM or Dark Zero, and then we compare the money they get back from Pilot Program, I think Cloud9's the winner when it comes to financials because they pay a much lower salary, but they're getting the Asian and Japanese market of like fan base engagement that are buying the skins, interacting with social media, you know, but they're paying a lot less money, I assume. I don't know for sure, but I assume they pay a lot less money than a major team would in a major region. That's the market, right? And that's why orgs like Fnatic and Cloud9 are very loyal to those APAC regions because it's a really good business investment. But they're never gonna win, basically, right? They're basically never gonna win anything. They might win some regional stuff or whatever. And Rogue just fuck. How many guys are on the staircase, dude? There's just fucking bomb training down with 3 people down the tower staircase. Rask has to fight every single person on the enemy team to survive this gunfight. Getting double grenaded by both Aces and Corey. And just like that, we have Pillars control once more. It didn't even matter that they were trying to contest the tower stairs this time. They tried and they failed. Also, this time, Leon doesn't get elbow control instantaneously. WTG is actually contesting it. But it doesn't matter. He's 1 versus 4 now on side. Leon did get injured, so 1 versus 3. 1 versus 2 all of a sudden. And now it is winnable. Leon cannot get revived anytime soon, so now we're going to slow it down. In this circumstance, if you're WTG and you know that this guy's going for a revive, the perfect play is to isolate the lone guy in pillar. It's a very difficult task to do, but it's the right thing to do. Obviously, he might not know that they're going for it, but if you do, you gotta get the 1v1. That's how you're gonna win this round. If Leon gets arrived and it comes down to a 1v3, that is when you have the lowest chance of winning. Obviously, by the looks of this, WTG has no idea what's going on. And that's the nature of having no information operators. They had a Maestro, the bubble got taken up by Corey's Gone R6 or Gone 6 gadget. And now WTG is playing the passive slow game with a single smoke grenade left. That's like, you hate to see this, right? Look at the red ping. It's like, dude. It's like such bad timing. He wide swings. Yeah, didn't have to wide swing. He's 1 health left, etc. Corey actually saw him there as well. This wall being soft also makes it hard to go back into side. Plus, the guy is gonna go into blue and have the rotate as well. So, WTG had to keep lashing out. He tried and he got very, very close to winning for his team. But ultimately, they did lose again. Live in Brazil, the dollar value is so high. Liquid wins more money than them than other teams. Yeah, Liquid is a very, very big org and a very good org. And the team that they had in Siege is it's a very loyal scenario. You know, they've been with Liquid for a long time. Like Nesk and the guys have been with Liquid since before Atlantic City. You know, I believe that Liquid, they came in Siege right after FaZe. Because I remember there was some salary drama with FaZe and Liquid where like FaZe entered Pro League in Brazil and they paid their players like a couple $100. And then Liquid came a week later or something like that and they paid the players like triple the money that FaZe was playing. And FaZe players were so sad They were like, dude, we got bamboozled, man. We signed the contract right before Liquid did, and we got no money compared to them. There was something like that. I remember some of the FaZe players, they were trying to, like, because every time you go to a tournament in Siege, all the pro players, they talk to you, like, yo, how much money are you guys making? You know, what's your salary? Because everyone wants to make sure they don't get screwed over. So when Liquid joined the Brazilian Pro League right after FaZe, the FaZe players were like, wait, you guys are making this much money? Oh, shit, dude, we signed a bad contract. Because they didn't know. Like, they just didn't know. The players, they thought they had a good contract. Like, the players were happy to sign the contract. You know? Let's say you're a new Pro League player. Let's say you're Kovana. Let's say TSM picks up Kovana. TSM offers Kovana $1,000. Kovana came from Challenge League making almost no money. They're happy to take $1,000 a month. So they join TSM. Then they go to, you know, Pengu, how much money you guys make in G2? And I say, we make $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Then Kovana goes, what? I'm like, yeah, what are you guys making? And they're like, we make 1,000. And Kovana was happy with 1,000 before. But because now they know what the market looks like, they know they got screwed, right? So FaZe just, you know, the players, they signed the contract they were happy with. They thought it was great, making like $500 a month. Liquid then got signed for like, I don't know, 2K a month or whatever. And then the FaZe players felt like they got scammed. That's how the market works, you know. When when King George's team got picked up by like Vertical Gaming, who had like a private owner, like a private investor running the team called Marvin, they were paid like $2,000 a month. We were making 100 euros back in Penta. Keep in mind, we had won 2 Pro League finals back to back. Year 2 season 1, year 2 season 2. We won Katowice and Gamescom back to back. We were the best team in the world, arguably back then. We made 100 euros a month. Right? And like then Vertical Gaming came around, they're making like 2K. And we're like, bro, if they're making 2K, we want to make 2K as well. So we told Penta, hey, either you pay us more than this shit NA team, or we're out. And then Penta said, okay, we're going to pay you 2K. So we went from 100 euros to like 2,000 or 2,000 something euros overnight. And that's when the inflation of Siege salaries started. When that NA vertical game team made 2K, everyone else started making 2K. Penta got 2K. Then Rogue was like, oh, we'll pay you guys 2K. You know, EG came around. They were paying their players 2K. And before you knew it, everyone's paid like 3K, 4K, 5K like we are now. The Siege salary could have / should have been a lot lower than it is. But because of that one bubble that bursted, you know, 3 years ago, everyone got a massive paycheck out of nowhere. Because we're making no money. And then all of a sudden, one org was overpaying their players a fuck ton. And then every team said, hey, we need to be paid this too. If that hadn't happened, we probably would be making, you know, 100, you know, 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000. And then eventually down the line, maybe in 2 years from now, we would be on the same salary as we are today. But because of that one instance, we actually just got a hella paycheck out of nowhere. So we were overpaid for a long time. And I still think that most Siege players are overpaid right now. If you're Bolo, if you're King George, back when he was a player, if you're myself, Pengu, if you're doing content creation like YouTube, Twitch, or if you do a lot of interviews or general content creation, I think you can justify being paid $5,000 a month for sure. But most Pro League players, or let's say half, they don't do a single stream a year. They don't do a single YouTube video a year. Why are they deserving to be paid the same as people who work super hard and put in the effort and get like sponsor attraction and org attention in general, right? So I think it's very normal to have like every player makes the same mentality. Like, you know, if you're Rogue, every player makes the same amount of money. But if you look at it, Corey streams very often. Corey should actually, and same with Leon, Corey and Leon should be paid more money than Cryan, Ribs, and that's Corey. Corey and Leon should be more than Aces, Cryan, and Ribs. Why? Because they stream all the time. You know? They put in more effort. They should be rewarded to get their sponsors out there and to advertise for Rogues and Org. They should make, let's say they make 5K, right? then Rips and Cryan and Aces, let's say they don't stream a single time ever. Like, they just don't stream. They should make 3.5k, right? And then if Aces and Cryan and Rips want to start making 5k like Corey and Leon are, then they can be like, yo, if we stream 20 hours a week, then we get bumped to 4k, right? And then once we reach a certain amount of viewers, or once we've been doing it consistently, then we get bumped to 4.5k, you know? And then you have like KPIs, and you have an incentive to actually stream because they make more money, Rogue gets more exposure, sponsors are happy, and now they're worth their salary. But what if they all get paid 5k regardless of who's streaming? Where is the difference in value for each player? It's not. This guy brings less value to the brand than this guy does, because this guy streams, right? So it makes no sense that this guy who doesn't stream gets paid the same. Unless he's like Shaiko or Bolo, but again, they all fucking stream too. But if you're like a crazy big gunner player that everyone has their eyes on, you know, star player potential, obviously you can negotiate a good salary. But let's say you're not, because most players aren't, right? In that case, it makes no sense. Someone's gonna lose money in the salary soon. No, I mean, when we signed with D2, when we signed with Penta back in the day, we also said the same. We all play Pro League, we play in the same team, we all put in the same amount of hours in scrims, we should get paid the same. And it makes sense. If I get paid more than my teammates, it's almost like we're fighting each other to try and get the best deal, right? Oh, I'm gonna start streaming and stop playing as much in scrims, and I'm gonna stop playing ranked as much off stream because I want to stream more, you know? It's not really how it's meant to be. But there are very few outliers, and people like myself and Bolo, or if King George is a Pro League player, where those players are obviously more deserving of a higher salary because of the value that they bring. But for most teams, it's not applicable. Like, neither Leon or Corey is so big and streaming to the point where they deserve a much higher salary. But they are putting a lot of work. And also think about this. When you are streaming or making YouTube videos, you are automatically making more money than your teammates because of the money you're generating with said content. So even if the org doesn't pay you more, the work you're putting in is paying off. So if the org also paid you more, you just make a lot more, right? Also depends on how much the org wants to be involved in the streams of like sponsors and gear usage and what you can and cannot do and general content, right? Pasha gets a nice refrag here. They were so busy focusing on Raz that he flanked out the Angel door and got a kill for his team. Now Pasha, once again, very deep in the ass of Rogue here and has to figure out how he's going to get out alive, or at least if he should waste a lot of time. Plays it pretty well. Rogue does not seem to know. All of a sudden, Pasha gets 2 for the trade of 1 and is now in small tower side, but only Rips able to contest. Pasha can play this slow, waste time and resources. The only way this goes south is if he starts running from this corner and gets picked off by Rips in the process. But that's the opposite thing happened. Pasha takes down Rips actually, and almost takes down Aces too. And Pasha has single-handedly, most likely, put the first round on the board for Virtus Pro. I hear my doorbell being rung. Riley? And it's Riley ringing because she's not responding. One sec. You need help? You got it? Oh, they are here. Oh, Riley was locked out. She wasn't. She was just far away. I do think that overall, Siege in a good spot. But I do think that salaries are a bit inflated, but overall, pretty good. Pasha gets 4. Hungry for the swing. Last guy's very low, and the ace comes out. Pasha literally 1v5 the entire lineup of Rogue, while his team are just vibing. Like, just look at this. Look at the difference in confidence here. Look, this guy holding passive angle. Pasha says, good night. Milan playing it like smart, you know, crossfire. Pasha says, no. The confidence of having a 4K or enabling the 4K into the ace. It changes people, dude. It does. That was looking much better though. Like, they had good early game roam. They had somewhat of a crossfire. I mean, Pasha had to hit like every shot in the book there to get that round for his team, but the general map dynamics were there. Whereas if you look at the first like 3 rounds, they were nowhere to be seen on the map anywhere, and Rogue was just running in, taking the ground for free, running over Virtus Pro. Much better roam game, much better map presence. Pasha and Rush trying their hardest.
Coming into the defense is they have been much better on the defense so far in Playday 1 and 2 than they have on the attack. The attack is where they've struggled, if anything, and they've just come away 5-1 on their attacking half. 62% win rate up to today on the defensive phase for Rogue, so you would expect them to take 4 out of 6 rounds here. They only need 2. Virtus Pro, they've got a lot of work to do. There's a mountain to climb here.
Well, VP, you've had
5-1 on start watching the stream. 5-1 plus A's. Yep. Yep. Everyone's talking about Kaseka. Yeah. So Kaseka sits very close to his monitor. This guy. He sits like above it, looking down, which is very. I mean, look at Rask. I mean, Rask is also in the monitor, right? But yeah. It's very common for pro players to sit very close to the monitor. I would say that Kaseka's way of sitting like above it, looking down, is a bit abnormal, but a lot of players sit super close to the monitor. It's not great for eyesight. It's not great for posture. It is arguably great for performance. But it's like reasons like those are also why some pro players, they either retire earlier in their life than they could have or should have, or the reason why they just have like back pain, wrist pain, neck pain, because their posture or their ergonomics when playing are subpar. If you want to play until you're 35 at a very high level, you need to worry about ergonomics, which means proper posture, proper monitor, neck, eyes, angle scenario, and whatnot. If you have what we call the shrimp posture, where you're bending your back, hunching forward like this to play the game, which like Shaiko is known for, like we call it the shrimp posture, you're probably gonna have a lot of issues in a few years, which is gonna affect your level of play down the line. Interesting. Oh, hello, Rogue VOD. You guys played in a stellar game, Aces. Like, fucking your first 3 rounds were crazy. Also, one thing I feel like I've seen now from multiple teams, both like Kovana, G2, Rogue, BDS, everyone seems to have a pretty good information game. Like the droning on attack, the setup on defense. We've seen a lot of Valkyrie bans lately as well, obviously shutting down that information game. Very, very impressed with the overall information and then decision making from that information so far. Thanks to VP doing the same strat 3 to 4 times in a row. I mean, VP did play this pretty weak, not gonna lie. But Rogue having the confidence to do what they did, that's the impressive part. No matter what team would do that strat, I think most attackers wouldn't just rush into big tower, take out the Banshee and rush into pillars. Most teams just aren't comfortable in that position. Corey entreat the first like 3 rounds perfectly. Refrags were there, now that... It's just nice to see. They're mad lads. Exactly, Aces. Look at how VP is playing it compared to Rogue. They spend over twice the amount of time, and they haven't even gotten as far as Rogue would on their own attacks. Okay, now they get pillar, great. They still need to get blue and elbow control. And being in this position is not something that most players would like to be in. Rogue didn't care. They thrived in it. It's almost like every single thing that VP tries to do, Rogue goes to punish one way or another. They already got the first man advantage in the first round here on defense. Playing 5 versus 4. Elbow control is being held beautifully by Corey. They're gonna walk past, but it doesn't really matter because elbow is still gonna shut them down. It opens the flank for Corey as well. And again, they're in pillars getting shot from 3 different angles. Soft wall, freezer, freeway. And just like that, VP is falling apart really, really quickly. Compare that to how Rogue was attacking and how VP was defending basement and how much freedom they had in pillars. Completely different story. And we almost had a double ace there. But they got shut down by... Is it Leon Giddens? It is Leon Giddens. Absolutely sad, dude. No ace was granted. Could have been so much better, man. You should have kept peeking aces. I don't give. Look at what Pasha did, dude. Pasha didn't give a shit. He wanted the ace. Look at this. Is it this round? It is this round. Look, Milan is holding the angle like a good boy. Pasha doesn't care. He just swings. That's what you gotta do. You gotta have the confidence to get the ace. You get owned like this. Look, you get owned like this. You gotta own it back, dude. You gotta own it back and get the ace back. I don't see any of your kills though, which kind of sucks. Aces gets 2. Ace gets 3. Make it 4. Beep boop. And then you gotta swing the last. You see? He has less health than you do. You're vibing. See, you still have more health than he does. But no swing comes in. Close though. If the guy had gotten through electric, maybe you would have gotten him. One tap the guy in pillar since the guy didn't call him close to the door. Yeah, you're playing on the fucking softball half of the round. It's kind of mad, lad. And that's the thing. Once you get into pillars and as an attacker, it's hard to drone. It's hard to have a stable position. They breached the electric wall themselves to take the ground. So they couldn't even play on the electric wall and start droning out because like the wall is open. So had they had better info, had they had more knowledge about Ace's positions and whereabouts in that round, that's kind of when that round gets a little bit easier for Virtus Pro. But not a single drone happened during that entire period. And it became a swing fiesta. Is this yesterday's game? It is. I didn't see any of the games live, so I was watching over them now. We saw the G2 Kovana game on Clubhouse, and then now watching the Rogue VP game on Oregon. Apparently 3 teams or 3 matchups played Clubhouse last night, so a lot of the same maps. Once again, another reason to go 9 map pool. You know, why didn't we just put in Chalet and Skyscraper, keep Theme Park in that map pool, make it a 9 map pool season? And then we can see some new maps being played. Chalet's already seen play. Theme Park was finally starting to get played more by more teams. Skyscraper, I'm not sure how many teams would actually play it, but Chalet is somewhat successful. I die overpeaking Satellite here. Oh, so now you overpeak aces when you can't get the ace. El Clasico. Is there a place I can learn pro callouts? Pro callouts is kind of difficult because every team has different callouts. I personally am making TikToks right now with how pro starts callouts. One second, chat. One second. Alright, there we go. More people asking about the situation of Kaseka. Alright, going back here. Aces said he overswung antenna window. Okay, Aces, costing. Are we trying to assist the guy hiding a big tower? Yeah, of crying. In your defense, or not in your defense actually, but you only need to peek that if they're on the rappel actively. We're trolling. They can't take big towers, so wrong play of us not to hold on attic. We call it dropper, where you drop down. We call that monster. Actually call it monster. We're like, what do we call this drop? Because we called it attic drop before. And if you say like drop or dropper, it's like he could have, you know, dropped the hatch. So we call it monster. As I was saying, on my TikTok, I am making call-out videos, like how a pro player makes call-outs or how a pro player does call-outs. I've made them for consulate top floor and consulate first floor, or first floor and basement. Out of 2 of the 3 floors I've made it on. My goal is to have call-outs for every floor and every map at some point. As well as I was gonna make like basic rank strats for basically most bomb sites that are playable in ranked. So if you type Xmas my TikTok, there's a link. We're also going to be uploading those videos as YouTube Shorts on my main channel.
Inside of dorms there is a little bit of pressure mounting from that master bedroom side. Pasha looking to rotate potentially.
So in case TikTok is banned in your country or whichever, we will be uploading them as YouTube Shorts as well, just to make sure everybody that wants to see them can. Call it tightrope because you're like an acrobat on a wire. I don't know about tightrope, dude. It's tightrope. Maybe. The GHC, like tight. It's kind of like hard for foreigners. That's the number one thing that a lot of people don't think about when making callouts. In our team in G2, we have 2 Finnish players. Making callouts that they can pronounce and understand is not as easy as you might think. There are certain things like drawers, like a bed drawer or whatever, a bedroom drawer, they can't fucking pronounce it. So we just call it a desk because they can say it, you know? Like small things like that you need to keep in mind. All of our callouts are made for that purpose, that foreigners can also pronounce them. Are we planning trophy door here? I'm scrolling down. Where am I going? Wait, you can scroll down like this? What? Watching a live stream? I didn't even know that. Sorry, I'm trolling. Am I blind? I don't see the plant. Like the planter. Finglish, shelf and desk, keep it easy. Yeah. Yeah, you can scroll in full screen. I didn't know that. I had no idea. It's not even real full screen. Call it beam. We have like coffin, baguette, like long desk, like easy to pronounce, like Harry Potter, Zebra, Alpha, Zulu. We have black, long, short, 90, Drid, B1, B2, C1, C2, 51, 52, 53, tier 1, 2, 3, S1, S2, Sulul. There's no L. It's just Sulu. Sulu. What's C1? C1 is short for Cat 1 or Catwalk 1. So on Clubhouse, C1 would be next to the staircase that goes up. That's C1. Then you got like the gap. Then you got C2. Then you got corner on 90. Then you got Cat 3. And you got the window. So you got Cat 1, 2, 3 window. And you got 90. That way you can call out exactly where the guy is. Because there's only cover on Cat 1, 2, 3, and 90. There's no cover anywhere else. So instead of saying Cat 1, Cat 2, you say C1, C2, C3. On Oregon, big tower, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. That's tower 1, so first floor. Tower 2, second floor. Tower 3 is third floor. S1 is small tower first floor, and S2 is small tower top floor, where Krine is right now. So Krine is playing S2, right? Ace is playing S1 in the hallway. And they're actually holding this with a Jaeger Wamai setup. Normally when you do this, you play Frost, which I just saw. They are also doing. This further just strengthens the position of Krine. And you have the vertical play on dining side into also window jumping. Usually when you got this setup, the attackers don't go for it. It's a lot of trouble to try and figure out. It does seem though that VP wants to play along. See what they can do. And they're actually going towards vertical play to try and clear out the position, it seems. Krine just has to waste a lot of time, some flashbangs, maybe some nades, and in a best case scenario, he will get a kill or two. And this is kind of where, as an attacker, you get presented with this like mini game or this problem solving that you gotta deal with, right? This window can be held vertically by anyone below. This window, not really. They're playing Leon and Krine together for Crossfire. So now as VP, you need to figure out how they're gonna execute this properly. And that's very, very difficult to do. So instead of them just taking small tower like they originally wanted to themselves. Did he fall off the roof or did he get... I thought he got frost trapped through the wall for a second. Did he fall? He fell off the roof! Ah! I saw it. Right here. Yeet! I guess he was trying to land here, but he landed here. That's unlucky. Oh no, that's gonna look. That's gonna cost them so much time because they gotta rotate all the way around just to revive him, and then rappel all the way back up. That is such a shame. Such a shame. Corey tier 2 here, assisting with the angles and taken out by Rask. I do think if you're Corey in a circumstance, if you can wait to swing that angle until Leon gets calls out that someone's active on the window, maybe that's better off. So you're not blind peeking because you are exposed constantly. It's also a very tight angle. It's kind of a one-way angle for Rask in that circumstance. But yeah. Because now they lose a player without these guys getting contested. And now they're getting contested. But one of the guys that could assist are now dead. So it goes a bit south. Ace is on big window, ready to slash out as well. This is how you want to play it as a rookie. You want to try and assist your teammates that are playing in this really, really tough circumstance. This window is not a big deal. Again, there's vertical play here. So Milan should never get any value out of this. Or at least there should be vertical. Didn't look like there was any. It's gonna come down to gunfights ultimately. It might just end up in this awkward scenario where they end up getting more side control than small tower control by the time that the bomb goes down. If you look at it, it's not really like they're coming that... I mean, they are coming for Leon, but they're not really pushing in. Now they're holding him more than anything. So they're going to be going downstairs now and start executing on the side. Leon is held stuck in small tower by the Buck. And now they're playing 2 versus 4 on the bomb side. So they got the kills they wanted. Hello? What? Hello? WTG not seeing Leon, and Leon also not seeing WTG for a bit there. It's a bit awkward. Okay. So when this happens, Leon now has a perfect flank position, finds 2 kills and defuses down on Kaseka, and gets the first of Pasha. Round is over, dude. Leon says good night, get in the bin. That changes everything right there. Gets 4, and now we might have the 3rd possible ace on this round, but no! It gets shut down just like before. Only 1 ace so far. And time is gonna run out shortly. Aces wins the round because he's better like that. Aces didn't do anything that entire round and they still won. Aces was like big window. He was hiding in freezer stairs. He was vibing, dude. That could have been a triple ace game, by the way. Coulda, would have been, but didn't. So I'm really curious to see what actually happened on WTT's screen. Because, like, if you look at the theory from VP here, leaving one guy to hold Leon gives the way they did is a really good play. They basically have one guy holding one guy, and they're playing 4v2 on side, with Ace is not even being on side. He's top floor, right? But it goes so south. Not only does WTG somehow, some way not see him at all, but the second he dies, they're also really, really slow to react to Leon being there. They don't need to challenge. They don't need to swing. So this is the first question mark. What is the Buck looking at? Right? And then in this circumstance, they know he's going to be flanking. I mean, he has to. And it's the guy with the diffuser holding the most obvious angle in the entire world in a very disadvantageous position. Right? Loses the gunfight. Diffuser is now down. Second guy comes just swinging in. Also gets taken down. And it comes all the way down to Rask at the very end to figure this out. It's 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1. Kaseka could have gone a hallway window, jumped in, execute side. Then the guy who swung him, which I believe must have been Pasha, right? Yeah, Pasha could have just sat down here and hold the staircase walk down. Kaseka goes hallway window and jumps out, and they still have like 3 versus 2 on bomb side. And Pasha can comfortably hold Leon from going down this staircase, because that staircase is the only way down for Leon. Instead, they take the 1v1. They all get slaughtered. They all die. It's a bit messy. It's a bit messy. Leon then, however, swings back. I mean, diffuses outside small tower. 10 seconds left. 9 seconds left. 8 seconds left. 7 seconds left when Leon swings. I don't blame Leon for swinging this with 7 seconds left to get the ace when diffuses outside small tower. The ace doesn't have time to go back and plant. Aces wins that round 100%. So Leon's better off trying to get the ace here for stats than to just fucking hide. But the perfect play is Leon walks back up the staircase and just hides, right? That way you have 1v2, 7 seconds left, guaranteed victory. With him swinging, it's still like a 99.99% victory, so like not a big deal. Swinging for that ace is not like a bad play. But of course, there is a chance that aces, you know, had a brain fart. He ran the wrong way. He dies, you know, round is lost. But very, 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 very unlikely, I would say. In the end, ace has AK-12, so anything can happen, right? Imagine a shift W into 90. That's what I'm saying, aces. What if you were trying to come up to set up crossfire and like there's like miscommunication and then Raz gets like a crazy one tap, you know? Like if that happened and you lost, that would have been a tilter. So like the perfect and the safe play is that Leon goes back up the staircase or hides on the railing, you know, and then if anything, the guy will go side and fight aces and then he's gonna have no time to get diffuser. But again, so unlikely that you lose this. So unlikely. I still think the highlight of this entire match is the first like 3 rounds in Rogue. Like VP plays it super safe, yeah, but look at this. 242 goes down the staircase. Drone is already in pillars. He knows it's clear. All he needs to worry about is the soft wall. Melee's the Banshee. Keeps going further down. And at 233, Rogue has established pillar control. 233. And they do this twice. Next time, Corey just runs in with his secondary gadget, the Gun 6, and just fucking pops out the bubble. It's really been nice to see. The trades that are coming out here, Kasega gets crime from the hatch. Leon gets the guy in electric or in elbow. Aces gets the guy back on the hatch from lobby flank. The round after, Aces then goes down the freezer stairs and kills the guy in small box and takes the fight with the other guy in freezer. Like the refragability and I always want to say like the randomness of Rogue's play is actually so like really nice to watch. Thank you, sorry for the raid. The Gun 6 is POG. It is POG. The Gun 6 is actually quite nice. I haven't seen it used that much yet, but I love the fact that it's in the game. You know, it's basically having like a single Sophia charge that you can use dynamically on multiple operators, and it gives you more viability of play on operators that might not be the most fun or the most engaging to play otherwise. Same with like Zero and Capital having the Heartbreach gadget. We call it the can opener in G2. Them having that, even Fuse having it, you can do some really crazy dynamic stuff with them on maps like Consulate and Clubhouse, where, you know, Fuse for basement is great and you can get a hatch. Capital is great for server, plus you can breach a wall. Like, it's great. Great gameplay. We don't talk about Fuse. Hey, you play Fuse on Consulate basement attack, you can breach the bathroom hatch, your other heart breacher can breach the garage wall, and you can clear the Banshees, the bubbles, the shields, the ADSs, the one-eye disc, the kite claws, the bandit batteries, and the mute jammers with a single Fuse charge. It's actually poggies. It's absolute poggies. You know, it's those few scenarios where Fuse is actually extremely strong, because on Consulate, most teams just slap a bunch of utility and then you gotta spend nades and ash charges clearing it out. It's the same for Clubhouse basement attack. People are impact tricking kitchen hatch. Well, if you just blow up a Fuse charge as you breach the hatch, they can't impact trick it, right? And then you don't gotta go through the trouble of doing a bunch of vertical play and taking gunfights and spending time, right? So for those few instances, Fuse has a lot of viability. But as a general pick, Fuse is obviously a very weak operator that doesn't get a lot of play. I do still think that Fuse should be a 2-speed. I still think that that discussion should be had. Same with Gridlock. I don't think any attacker besides Shields should be a 1-speed at the minute. And as much as it, you know, it sounds crazy, but it actually makes a big difference in pro play. When you're playing maps like Consulate, if you're a 1-speed operator, if you gotta go from point A to point B, it just takes a lot longer and you get there a lot slower. BDS was 3rd most selected game. BDS? Train hard? I've yet to watch some Empire Vitality gameplay, dude. I have yet to watch it. Clubhouse again? Wait, so what maps are they? I just want to check the maps that everyone's playing here. It doesn't say, right? Oh, so Cafe, Clubhouse. Ugh. Cafe between Navi Secret. That must be a banger game. Every game is the same length, like 47. Don't watch this map. Save yourself. Is it Clown Fiesta? Wait, this is the wrong map I'm playing. I'm watching. Wait, I'm watching the wrong one.
You would probably put your money and your point.
We literally banged it on cafe. Yeah. Yo, you got banged. Oh, it was a banger in that sense. Oh shit, dude. Secret was Nami wasn't a banger. Secret got crushed. Oh shit. Train hard equals train wreck. I mean, to be fair, the whole train hard thing is a bit of a joke, right? Because train hard is only in Pro League because fucking Tempra tried to sell their Pro League spot, which is like not how it works. Because when Tempra dropped their Pro League roster, everyone thought, myself included, they were gonna pick up like MKers or makers or whatever. But no, Tempra dropped their roster to try and sell the spot to a different team, which is like not legal. Like that's not how it works. You can't sell your Pro League spot, right? So then Trainhard just got invited instead, and they're just not ready for it. You know, they're just not ready at all. BDS Trainhard is probably the biggest meme matchup you can have, cause it's like fraggers versus fraggers, but one of them is like super experienced, you know, super competent, very strong roster of BDS. And then Trainhard is not a meme team by any means, but, you know, super new young roster. They've had a really slow start to the Pro League season. I've seen the NAL match where TSM played against Beast Coast. No, I saw a few rounds, but I didn't see that much. I thought about watching it. I thought about it. I feel bad for Trainhard. I don't feel bad for them. I just feel bad for Tempra, like the player. So the Tempra lineup was known as Easy Dream before, and they were a team that had grinded in Challenge League for like a year, and they were actually really good. And they had a pretty slow start to the first Pro League season, but towards the end, they actually were doing better and better and better every single time. And then they got dropped. After grinding for more than a year together in Challenge League and stuff, they get dropped. They had great teamwork, they had great synergy, they had been grinding with the same roster for quite some time, all the way down in Challenge League, and then they get dropped after finding the most success that they've had in a year. And then, you know, some of the roster is now on Train Hard, some of it isn't, and it's just a bit of a mess. New game mode is out. Maybe I should go play the new game mode then. I did consider watching the TSM Beast Coast game just because I didn't see it live. But we can maybe do both and we can play new game mode.
Yeah, there's of course many different players on that roster now. Spark finally returning to competitive play. Himself back in. Don't forget Blast, the Shaiko 2.0, according to some, will now be playing against Shaiko. We will get to see who is indeed still.
Alright, there we go. It's copy pasted with new gun skins, not worth it. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. There's no point in watching this game, no? No point at all? 0 point at all? Wait, they make a line of sight here? Wait, what? Okay. Just watch it. I'll watch it, dude. I'm down. The thing about playing Train Hard, right, is that they might have some unorthodox strats or just do things that you're questioning. And what the... Because of that alone, you might be like, oh, they're kind of hard to play against, you know, because they play random. But other than that, I don't think they have much going for them besides that. Also, Thatcher's actually open. I didn't see the map bends or the upper bends at all. Thatcher Thermo's going to make this a blessing for BDS. Seeing as Shaco's on Ace, does that mean Hibana was banned? I'm just gonna check super quick because I didn't see the bans at all. I wasn't watching. Yeah, Hibana's banned. Okay, so Hibana, Maverick, Mira, Wamai. Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say Shaco normally plays the Hibana, so. That guy looks scared. I mean, if you're playing against BDS and Clubhouse and you got Shaco and AK-12, I'll be scared too. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, I'm not sure about this Noera guy, Goyo dude. He was slamming on Jaeger and NAL. Noera wasn't in NAL, my guy. He's French. Do you mean FPL? He's played FPL before. I played with him a bit. Nora is like just turned 18, no? He's a youngster. Nora has insane aim, at least an aim trainer. God damn it, Aces. Aim trainer, aim matters, dude. Come on. Come on. Okay. Speaking of crazy Nora, Nora's dead. Just point that out there. The thing about Trainhard is that Trainhard doesn't strike me as a team that plays very like strategically. You know, it's more like a loose goose, run around. Oh, okay, the wall is reinforced. I was gonna say, why is there a mute gem on a soft wall? Look, that's such a debate. It literally looks like it's soft besides these like 3 pixels. Like, that's some fucking Pepega strat, dude. So they've double reinforced construction, the jammer, and then they have a castle barricade and a double door to block the hatch ankle, I assume, for the jammer. Spicy. Spicy. Was it late rotation? No, I'm just surprised that it looked soft. That was all. Like they reinforced this mid round, I assume, because they had a vault roll. But that's the thing, they reinforced the other wall. Normally you have a rotate on the right hand side, but they had it on the left hand side. Nora's 22, by the way. He's 22? What? I thought he was 18. He's not a youngster. So this is where BDS kind of shines. When they get put into a scenario where like they get stuck, they just fucking frag it out. They have Thatcher so that gemmer shouldn't keep them in their tracks for too long. Shackle is dead. Now it's winnable all of a sudden. Revex coming from the the windows. Very nice. Blast jumping out. Question mark. Ah, dude. I would have loved to see some craziness here. Just jump out and fight Renshiro, you know? Just not care. Blast has to really play this position well to stay alive. Oh, lordy, lordy. Look how much movement we're seeing this round compared to previous clubhouse game we just watched. Everyone is running around like crazy people. Never sitting still, never standing still. And getting punished quite hard for it too. You hate to see it. Just look at this. We're playing 3v3. We're sitting still. And then second Blast gets thrown, he becomes a racing car. And shortly after, his teammate gets fragged out as well. So Blast dies now fighting Elimsh. And then straight after that, Spark then kills Brid. But then Renshiro kills Keoxys. Yeah. Whole thing is a bit messy. They never really ended up using offense either. They just kind of went for it. Rainbow is magic is out again. I saw, sir. I saw. I know what Blast is doing there. I mean, Blast was lightning fast choo-choo train, you know? Man doesn't stop. I mean, he could have played on the mattress in middle of Master. Could have gone bathroom probably. He could have tried to fight the window guy. Had Blast gotten the kill connector, he could push in and take the ground. That's pretty good, actually. So like a high risk, high reward type of scenario. Wasn't Spark on Vitality a while ago? I believe Spark was on Vitality back when Vitality was known as the last 20-second meta. I believe. What watch did we see already? We saw the Rogue VP and G2 Kovana. Why is Mira 1 speed? She got a fat ass, dude. That's why it's so fucking like stupid that Ayana is a 3 speed. Cause she has a fat ass too. And is she a 3 speed? Or is she a 2 speed? I think she's a 2 speed. I'm checking. I actually don't know. I feel like she's a 3 speed. But I also don't think they've only been making... Yeah, she's a 2 armor. They've only been making 2 speed 2 armor operators like the last year and a half. Almost. And Lucy's a 3 speed though. She is a 2 speed. She's got a bigger ass than Mira but runs faster. It makes no sense. Like, where is the balancing team at in their head? If that's the kind of things that we're seeing. Think about it. Yeah, I mean, Lucy and Maverick are both 3 speeds. I believe they're the most recent. I mean, Lucy's the most recent 3 speed at least. I'm pretty sure. Maverick might even be the most recent 3 speed attacker actually too. I think you are correct. Mira has to carry the ass and the windows. A true, dude. She just has a hologram that doesn't weigh anything. True. Pretty generic roam game, falling back when time comes low. It's not quite the SSG roam, but it is some, I mean, kind of is actually. They do play it weaker, they don't play server hold, but they do have like the jammers, the castle barricades. They play like a half SSG roam. Nora flicking the castle, flicking the bathroom door and falling back. Raphael doing vertical play into Walt's bar to make sure that they can contest the area. And they have now successfully wasted a minute and 10, make it 15 seconds. Didn't really get the most crazy value there. I would say it's pretty good job by BDS clearing it out so quickly and successfully. And now the ace and the thermite on the board is gonna be a bit more difficult to get everything open as they would want. Then again, all they have are 2 impact grenades on the side of Train Hard. The looser the waistband, the deeper the quick... What does that mean? The looser the waistband, the deeper the quicksand. Dude. Raphael, not Raphael. Is Raphael? I don't know. I always call him Raphael. It's because I'm Danish, I suppose. Rafale. I think it's pronounced Raphael. I don't think there's like a... like an EL, you know? Raphael. There's a classic T2 plant. You drop kitchenette, smokes are coming out, plant goes down. Can Blast not white swing this and actually get line of sight to the planter here, I think? Yeah. Oh, actually, pretty good position. Something to note, the holes of the C4 weren't made. They were getting made mid-round. This is also something that Kovana, for example, they reinforced off this wall so that this exact scenario wouldn't happen. Right? What you can do is you can make the holes a bit further up or a bit further down, and then the angle that the hatch guy gets is worse. The guy did drop the hatch and run straight past the line of sight here. It's a bit confusing. There's no smoke grenades for that, but the cover there was not the greatest. Postplant does not get denied. Blast does get the kill. 4v2. As long as you have vertical play in kitchen here, it is almost impossible for Train Hard to win a retake. Even though it's 4v2, all that Raphael has to do is hold the main stairs flank. They most likely have a drone on the blue flank. And then all Shago has to do is kill them when they're defusing. So Shago's going to do the killing. Raphael does the flank holding. That's like a pretty good match made in heaven, right? First guy defuses, he gets taken down. First guy flanks, he gets taken down. Raphael then makes the mistake of sprinting. After it's a 4v2. There's going to be more than one guy flanking, surely. Sprints. There is always going to be a second amigo, if not a third amigo, flanking. Probably the perfect play to do as Train Hard here. Instead of Blast defusing so early on and dying for nothing, what you do, you keep one guy below to hold the hatch drop. You send 3 guys upstairs. As long as Shaiko's in kitchen, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to lose the round. You might as well have one guy make sure they don't drop down the hatch to retake the bomb site and have 3 guys flank above. Or at least if you kill Raphael with the 3 guys, then you can start defusing. And as, you know, Shaiko kills the diffuser, then you start peeking the door with the crossfire. So that he has to do like a 180 flick to win those gunfights, right? Whereas now we defuse early, Blast dies. We flank, Raphael dies. And what happens next? Then this guy is gonna swing Shaiko solo probably, and then what? Yeah, you see? Then Castle swings Shaiko solo, and where's Kelx? Is downstairs? He's downstairs watching the holes. So everything was extremely poorly played, right? Like, this just doesn't make... what are you gonna do? If Castle kills Shaiko, yeah, you win the round. What if Castle doesn't kill Shaiko, one of the best gunners in the European League the last year straight? Well, then you lose. You just straight up lose without even trying. So, again, to reiterate, if Smoke stays downstairs, holds the hatch, right? And you send everyone upstairs except for Smoke, or maybe because Blast has little health, maybe you send Blast to hold downstairs instead, doesn't matter. But yeah, if 3 guys run upstairs, 1 guy stays below to make sure that Shaco doesn't drop the hatch, you might have a chance. Or at least if Castle waits for Calxus to defuse and then swings. Because there was no waiting, dude. There was no waiting. Look. We can play it out in real time. Calxus is not defusing. In fact, he's throwing a smoke grenade while Shaiko is peeking out. That's unlucky timing. So Calxus is Noera is fighting Shaiko. Calxus is throwing a smoke grenade. You know, like, the smoke grenade is not going to do anything. If anything, throwing the smoke grenade is just going to fuck your teammate from swinging Shaiko. You know? And then Shaiko's like a guaranteed win. And they lose. This is why you play for the plant so heavily on most maps in Siege. Because winning post plants, or sorry, winning retakes as a defender it's so difficult. So difficult. On like consulate basement, consulate lobby, consulate top floor, extremely difficult. Consulate, you know, tellers, again, very difficult. Clubhouse basement, clubhouse server, clubhouse gym. Gym is probably the easiest of those three. Like server is very difficult to retake, and basement is very difficult to retake. Gym is, depending on what you plant, it can be difficult. Usually you plant in gym, which can be held from the windows and whatnot, but besides that. Is something on fire behind the limbs? What does his camera look like? Oh, it's the PC. Oh, I see that. Oh, what the? Wait, that's so much smoke, dude. I don't know if that's a kitchen and he has like the kettle on because it looks like a sink, like where the water comes out of the sink. I don't know what that is, but there's a lot of smoke, dude. Man's on fire, both figuratively and literally. I don't know what that is. I can't tell. Someone could just be like ripping a fat vape. You know, just... I don't know. Could be a diffuser as well, like those like air diffusers that like have smells. The thing Siege's plant diffuse should sound like CSGO, it only beeps once. Yeah. I think, so what I think when you diffuse as a defender, I think it should only make noise like CSGO or Valorant, where when you first tap it, right? So you hear like a beep and then nothing, so that you can fake it, right? But when you're planting as an attacker, I think it should make continuous sound. Actually, I guess it shouldn't. I guess it should be the same. I'm thinking because planting is so advantageous if it goes down for attackers that it shouldn't be balanced for them. But then if you're 1v1 as an attacker, you know, you want to be able to make that same mind game like CSGO. So, yeah. I do think that it should be more like CSGO where you, because like 7-second diffuse timer, you hear every single punch or every single tick these days, and you have drones for visual information on top of that. It's a bit excessive. Now, they actually reinforced off double catwalk similar to what we saw earlier from Kovana, but they're not playing the Wamai. They're just playing the Noera on Amaru. I always say Amaru. It's a Rooney. A Rooney on the rafters. And again, this could be a bit of a like a sacrificial lamb where we got, you know, C4s and smoke grenades for plant deny, but we only have a single C4s, so I don't know. Blast keeps bringing impacts, but we're playing Ace Thermite on a server defense, so I'm not sure what those impacts are for exactly. Especially seeing as they don't have Bandit, it's like they're gonna be Thermite in the wall more so than acing it, whereas if we're acing the wall, they could be doing the opposite. Instantaneous execute comes in. So this is kind of, oh my god, dude, this is actually beautiful. So I don't know if BDS, they knew this, but they probably did. Catwalk is still reinforced. Shire comes in the server window. There's only one guy on side. There's no one else. Right? Elimish Thermite comes in the breach each. Planter goes straight down. Elimish gets the injure frag. That is smoke off the board. There is no one else to answer back on the entire line of Train Hard. They're holding blue. They're holding red stairs. And they're holding Catwalk with a double reinforcement. There's nothing they can do to answer back. There's not even a guy in connector. No one is even close to the bomb side. The thing is, normally you hold blue as a defender because they need to bring Sophia below to do vertical play. But the Thatcher is on the board. You're not gonna go below and do vertical play when you can just throw EMP beep And then maybe if they had played a bandit themselves, they could force them into going into vertical play if they didn't want to waste the ace charges. But they don't have a bandit. They just have a mute. And again, that's on the board. Playing the wrong strat here. Playing a complete wrong strat. Lemsh has server, Shaik. Oh. Lemsh has cash rather, and Shaiko had servers. Reflex are coming out, and Blast gets one, and Lemsh gets Blast back. And just like that, the round is over. It took how long? Plant went down at 205? 204. Less than a minute before Plant came down, and then another 10 seconds later, the round is over. Effectively. Messy, 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 messy. If Thatcher was banned, or if they're playing Bandit, you can try and trick it, and then, you know, they can't thermite the wall, they have to ace it. That stops the rush, that's great. But even if you don't go for the trick, and you don't really expect them to rush, you can't have just the one guy on site, you know? It's a smoke, SMG 11, 17 bullets, Catwalk still reinforced off. The Catwalk guy cannot help you. So, a bit of a bait there. I'm curious to see where the fifth guy was in their team. There are two guys below, one guy staircase, one guy rafters or catwalk. I don't know where the fifth guy was. If he was strip, I'm gonna lose my shit. He's like way off the map, you know? 17 bullets, 17 kills. True. Quickest round in Pro League I've seen. Jungtis, they 5-man recruit rush the trophy window on Chalet back in year 1 Pro League. I think that might be the fastest round that I can think of. If not, there's a round in APAC by... It was either Mantis or Cyclops, I believe. Or it's Norengu, where they played Oregon, they rushed down the lobby stairs, and they won the round in like 13 seconds or something. Or at least they planted. I think it was the fastest plant more than fastest round, but I don't know. Recruit was in Pro League? Yeah. Recruit used to be in Pro League. Back in year 1 it was. Back in year 1, you could play Shield Recruit and have like smokes and nades or nades and flashbangs. And you could also play... Bandit had 3 barbed wires. Spicy. The thing is, back then, recruits only had 1 reinforcement. So if you played recruit, you didn't have enough reinforcements to like do normal strats. Whereas now, you have a shared pool of 10 reinforcements. And the recruits also have scopes now. Back then, they only had iron sights. So, bit spicy. Train hard doing the same strat they did the first round, where they got slaughtered. This time, BDS cutting off the rotate so that they are still going to be stuck on cash. Cutting the map in 2 effectively. And now they can choose to go either side. They can either go gym and attack the bomb side, or they can roam clear cash. Either way, the cash players are going to be stuck. People? Shield plus E4 on defense? Yeah. Yeah, you could play like, what, L85, SMG 11, smokes, or sorry, nades and flashbangs. Like, it was like crazy. The only downside was the iron sights, of course. I still wish Siege had better iron sights. I still think a game like Apex Legends does a good job at that. I would love the ability to play iron sights on almost any gun if you truly wanted to. We're not seeing much of the action, but Shaco gets one, Manshiro gets another, and all of a sudden, the cash players have been eliminated. And that is the effectiveness of cutting the map in half. The guys on side can't help. The guys in cash can't really run away. And now BDS are free to pick their choosing of which way to go. Is Blast the only guy not a boot? Oh, he's a boot camp, don't mind. There's a guy in his bottom left corner of his cam. It's a nice area they're in. I like it. Thank you, Mr. Centaur. Or Kentaur. Should be in Paris? Yeah, they're in France somewhere. I don't know if it's Paris, but definitely France, I'm sure. Curious if they're boot camping or living there. That's the thing I don't know. Because I think they've been there for their first all 3 Pro League games, no? Shimmer and CBDS on defense trying to see how to hold clubhouse properly. Kick W. Hey, It's always good to watch BDS attack though, because you can always learn something. Like BDS is slowly starting to play more like methodical Siege, I would say. Like, you know, BDS a year ago was a lot looser, a lot more frag heavy. Now they seem to have, you know, win conditions, strategical like points of like accessibility. Like the very first cash round, like, okay, you know, we're gonna do a rush. Shadow comes in the window, 2 guys goes breach, 1 guy goes below, 1 guy goes garage. Like, it's pretty nice. It seems a lot more thought out than what BDS's playstyle was, you know, 6-8 months ago. Close your eyes next round. You don't want to see this clutch attempt. Oh no. I think they're living there. They might be. Or just like a long ass boot camp. So what are we changed from last round? We got the same lineup. Same setup so far. Nothing out of the ordinary. Are we gonna double reinforce off catwalk this time though? That is the question. One gets reinforced, but the other. Making the rotate for blast was on the roam game last time around, so we wanted to use the impact forward, it seems. Thank you, Aaron. Shield. Oh, okay, okay. Shield and lounge with no castle on the board. Wait, what? I think Trainhard is just trying to break the meta, you know? They're just like, we're gonna do something different. It doesn't make any sense, but we're gonna do it. Because that shield has no ADSs that I could find at least. And it doesn't have any castle barricades, so like, you know, did not. Oh, there's one ADS actually. Let's see it here. Like, there's no castle barricade in stock. There's no castle barricade like main door. Like, that shield is gonna disappear if they want to get rid of it. It's a bait. How exactly you're gonna bait with a shield, my guy? I mean, the shield is gonna die in a second if they want to get rid of it. They don't even need to clear it. That's the worst part. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Thank you, Mr. Cosenza. Just to waste maybe 30 seconds, but that's not worth it. This bomb site is not about wasting time. Not unless you're sacrificing catwalk player. Like, this is not your point of contact for wasting time. Oh, wait. Oh, Coxus? Okay, ooh, real quick. Did he hit a Lemsh with the shotgun shell and therefore he came off the drone? I just saw it. He didn't hit him, no. Okay. Ah, yikes, dude. Yikes. Oh, that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart. That is so sad. Manbury got scared. Like, it looked like he got scared. He's like, oh, crouching, you know? He sees like a unexpected Sophia there. So about that lounge shield, guys. What value is it getting? I'm still looking for it. I'm still waiting for it. It seems like Trainhard's playing more towards first floor than top floor, despite the bomb site being upstairs. Oh, Blast with a perfect garage flank, almost. At least he killed Shaiku, you know, worth. Bridge up in the diffuser, okay. On accident, there it is, nice. So they're gonna be a garage plant. They're gonna go and rotate to garage. They're gonna breach open the wall. They're gonna try and go for a default plant. Rafael then takes the position of the server breach because the thermite is required in here. The duo of Thatcher and thermite is strong. We got, what do we have? We have 1 C4 and 3 smoke grenades. We have enough if used correctly. A Lem's is low on health. That's gonna help you out, especially against a double SMG11. Plant comes in. C4 should come out. C4. Oh, that kills him? What the heck? It clipped the thing, dude. It's... Oh, it's on the floor. Oh, I thought it was stuck on the railing for a second. It's on the floor. Fair enough. Kills thermite. Good play, good play. We like it. Smokes are coming out next. Very good. Half of a Renshiro. Very good hold by Trainhard. A Lemsh got injured in the process too. He used a smoke grenade on a Lemsh, no? He used a smoke grenade for a Lemsh who's injured in a 2v2 plant situation. And that's his last smoke. He used 2 smoke grenades for the staircase in a plant position. He used one earlier as well. Because he smoked it before Lemsh died. Right? Yeah, he uses 2? Yeah, I'm just double checking. Because I feel like he smokes it here. It's 3 now. Yeah, here comes. He smokes the staircase once. C4 comes out. Second smoke goes towards the bomb deny. That's here. That's second smoke out. Then we injure Elemsh with that pre-fire. And then we smoke it again. Imagine we had a smoke grenade for this plant right here. He's already half health. There's 15 seconds left. No. Oh no. Okay, okay. We're injuring when Shuka is swinging out aggressively. I like it. Raphael trades back 1v1. Spark? Spark? Hell no, dude. He doesn't know? So in this scenario, if you're Spark, you just fucking full send. Listen. You run out and you fucking kill this guy. You can't play this. You run out and you fight the guy on the rappel. It's not easy to do. It's not great to do, but it's the only thing to do. Because the second he starts defusing, he's gonna die, right? You fucking run out and fucking yoink it. This doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not an option. You can't do this. You fucking shift W like a warrior, and you fucking see the grapple line, and you fucking destroy like Raphael. It's the only option you have. Satch. I'm gonna assume that Spark didn't know Elims was injured, and probably knew there was a guy out here and expected Elims to have gone catwalk. But the only thing that's a bit confusing is that Raphael starts rappelling like the same second he swings, and he's just completely ignorant to that. Like, he's already rappelling at this point, and he's still looking for catwalk. He saw him? No, I don't think he knew that Lemsch was downed. And he's probably looking for a Lemsch in catwalk, assuming that he went in there instead. Like, that's like an easy mistake to make, because like he did smoke bang him earlier. I believe it was a gunfire that injured him. Actually, the smoke that injured him, I think, before he shot. Yeah, Lemsch got down to the smoke. You see, now he shoots. Yeah, so the smoke actually downed the Lemsch. And then the second smoke that he shot, or threw, didn't kill him. Like, this one doesn't kill him. So Spark probably thought he wasn't injured. This is why you gotta check the scoreboard, by the way, for the points. I'm just saying. Just saying. Whenever you throw a smoke grenade or throw a C4, you press tab. You see that you have 3,200 points. And if you get plus 50, then you injure someone. And you need to do that every time you throw a nade, and every time you throw a C4, and every time you throw an impact grenade, every time you throw a smoke grenade, every single time you go for a random wallbang. You check the scoreboard, because that's how the point system works. I do that for everyone. Whenever Uno cooks a grenade, I press tab. I'm like, Uno, there. Uno has 1,500 points. And then I hear that boom, and I go, Uno, no injure. Or I go, Uno, injure. Every single time. Whenever my teammate is cooking a grenade or throwing a C4, I check the scoreboard. I've been doing that for 5 years. Because we don't have points in Pro League, but the scoreboard works the same way as points do. Because that the points you see, they get added to the scoreboard. Every player should do this. Every single player. If Spark had done it, he would know he injured Lemsch. Right? So that's what you gotta do. Every single time. Then this wouldn't happen. Or at least you can reduce the risk of it happening, right? So no, you always take the scoreboard. The thing is, Renshiro actually kind of messes up here, because Renshiro is playing very far forward. I assume he's holding the door angle, so Raphael can hold the radio angle with confidence. Instead of, if Raphael walks further to the right and holds like a straight, narrow line, he can hold both entry points for Renshiro. But instead, they hold an angle each, and Renshiro gets, he loses the trade. So it's a bit messy, but yeah, they get the clutch. You can't do this. Like, if you're ever in this position as Sparkies, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you're better off just not trying, because you're not gonna win this. And if you are, it's based off luck, right? It's all timing based. If you run out and take the gunfight, you got every single opportunity as a player to win. You have to run at the guy. Yeah, exactly, fail. Unless you have a C4 or anything like that that could maybe you can cheese him, you need to just fucking run at the guy and kill him. The guy's rappelling, he has no mobility, you know exactly or just about where he is. What tool I use? This is Epic Pen. I can change the color too. Epic Pen. Can I upload VOD reviews? Yeah, I think my editor is. Why no points in Pro League? Pro League is like playing hardcore mode. You don't get like the luxury of crutches like points. BDS is not 6-picking ever, are they? They've been playing Sledge, Sophia, Ace, Thatcher, Thermite every single round and they've been trying to 6-pick. I mean, you don't need to. You can play this lineup for every single attack, but still. You could 6-pick off the IQ to not bait, you know, trying to play in Valkyrie, but they keep playing fucking Arunia and Clubhouse and it's pissing me off. They're playing Kite against the Thatcher. They only have one set of impacts. They don't play Bandit on Basement ever. They're not impact tricking. Like, Trainhard doesn't have a whole lot of win conditions here. They don't. Like, what's this guy gonna do? He's gonna get EMP'd, right? That's 2 EMPs gone. The third EMP is gonna do what? They don't have any jammers. So they're not playing EMP economy. Don't have a Bandit. They only have 2 impacts, so they can't trick Hatch and Church Wall. And you can't impact trick against Ace anyway. So... Messy. He can't tricks the Church Wall. Of course he does. Why wouldn't you against an EMP? Of course you do. Like what? Like what? You can't impact trick Ace? No. You can't impact trick the Ace charges because if you... I mean, you can let... So, if you Ace here and you Ace here, you can't bandit trick it, nor can you impact it. No matter what, there's gonna be a hole. Sure, you can let the first layer explode and then impact trick the second layer that's gonna go further down, but the hole is gonna come there regardless. And when the hole is there, the attackers have gotten what they wanted, which is line of sight. The wall is successfully breached, right? So you can't really impact trick the Ace charge, whereas let's say you go for a Therma charge in this wall, you can impact trick above the reinforcement on this angle and destroy the Therma charge. That is possible, but you can't impact trick Hibana pellets that are feet level, and you also can't impact trick Ace charges that are feet level. Only if they are on this area, because you can make a hole in this wall and impact trick here. It's a tight angle, but you can. But that's only if they're on the far left from outside or far right from inside. What if you impact trick and bandit trick? That's ideally what you want to do. That's why I'm saying them only having 2 impacts and no bandit is disappointing, because that's pretty much what you would need to bring if you want to hold church at least. Ideally, if you have impacts on 2 operators, so let's say you skip the Aruni and you have impacts here and impacts on Legion, you can have 1 impact player on church, 1 impact player below kitchen hatch, and you can rotate around accordingly, and at least you have the tools to try and do it if they don't do proper vertical play. Or you bring the bandit and the ones that have impacts and you just, you know, duo those guys up in church, and now church is like unbreachable basically. Or at least you have a really good chance of denying the breach if you wanted to. You can also play Kite and Mute and Bandit, and you can play around an EMP economy where, because that only has 3 EMPs, you can put down 4 jammers and 2 Kite Claws, and they will have to decide where to use them. You know, 2 EMPs for each hatch, 1 EMP for the church wall. Now you still have jammers and bandit charges left and impact tricks, and they can't breach church now. But because you don't bring enough, you know, they can just breach regardless. Would a C4 be worth it to destroy 1 Ace charge? No. Not unless he only has 1 left. Because if you're gonna C4 1 Selma charge or Ace charge, he'll just throw another one. And then you've used the C4, but they still got the wall open. So you might as well let them open it, see if you can get a C4 kill, and then that's that. But it all depends. It's all circumstantial, you know? Spark is Kite Claw tricking the Motor Hatch, very smart. this can bait out an EMP and then he can pick it back up, and that's 1 EMP for free. That's EMP economy. The only issue is, they don't have anything else to EMP economy around. Vertical Blade's gonna come in for Kitchen Hatch. So it's gonna be another Kitchen Hatch execute by the looks of things. Yoink. Yoink. Here comes the MP. That's really good. Spark got what he wanted here. He did lose the claw unless he picked it up again. Okay, I think he has 1 pre-placed and he's tricking with 1. So yeah, he didn't lose anything. So 1 EMP went out for free. That's a win in their book. Don't know where the second claw is. I have no idea. It's not on church.
Unfortunately, those EMPs dampen those claws and smother that spark in the hands of the aforementioned man, able to
You see, claw comes out too late, and the wall gets opened regardless. Didn't have to EMP it. So now what's gonna happen is that they're gonna EMP it, then there's no claws left, and then the wall is open again, you know? Like fully opened. Even if nothing else comes out of this breach from Shaiko, they got what they wanted. There's a line of sight into church. No one is really safe now. And it gives BDS just more and more and more options to execute. I assume that the other kite claw might have been dirt. Also, I mean, I don't know if anything here happened, like, but the idea is white swing LMs like I have never seen before. Look at this. Is there a refrag? Is there anyone? No. If they had this guy white swing here and another guy on the blue door swing with him, fair play. 2 versus 1, you get the kill. But look at the timer. There's 24 seconds left. You're playing 5v5. You're in a great position as... Okay, you're in a decent position as Train Hard. But the second Deersa throws his life away like that, you're now in a shit position. No one has blue control. No one can retake blue control. And now Limbs can get a bunch of value for his team. If they had another guy swing, they can almost get a guaranteed refrag. It's not the case. Now the smokes come out again. They love those. So look at the positioning here. Chaos is in third. Blast is back B with a hatch being open most likely. Noera and Spark are both playing church. Shaiko is cutting off the angle in half. They're probably going to do a hatch execute with Lems walking in from blue. The only thing that can stop this entire execute is Blast. They don't even have holes in this wall so that Noera can properly help hold the hatch drop. Calxus can't swing because the hatch angle favors the attackers, and Calxus isn't living against a Lemch on a 2.0 scope. It's messy. The only thing that's great here is that Spark can at least hold the rotate. But besides that, like it's slim to 0 chance of winning. For Train Hard. Spark actually swings out and gets Shaiko on main stairs. That is good. That opens up the round. Blast swings out, gets Monsieur in the hatch again, following up with the opening. Now the frags come back. Raphael gets Noir. Brit gets Blast. Calxus gets Brit back. Good. The only thing that opened up that is crazy gunplay, right? Look, Spark peeks this, kills Shaiko. That's great. And then Blast swings the hatch and kills someone. I think it's Minshiro. Or Raphael, sorry. That's great. But if those kills didn't happen, strategically speaking, Train Hard has no way of winning whatsoever. So like Spark getting Shaiko here just opens everything. Also a bit confused to Elemsh. Elemsh dies to... Oh, he's injured. He doesn't die at all. Who injured him though? Oh yeah, so Spark injured Lemsh. So yeah, that's Spark from Church holding the angle. Train Hard gets around. Happy days and smiles across the board. Somewhat. Now they gotta get 6 more to win. Easy. Spark changed that round. I mean, Spark single-handedly won him that round. He got 2 kills, got the opening kill and the crossfire kill into blue. Blast and Spark basically 2v4-5 that, right? So The villain of that round was Dirsa though. Dirsa swinging out of blue like that. Really, really, really questionable. It's not even like he got naded or anything. Like he just swung and didn't even hit Elamish. Sales support BDS. Poggies, dude. I actually haven't seen that many people using the BDS skin, which I'm surprised about because it looks fucking good. But I've seen a surprising low amount of it. Again, Hibana is not super like popular right now, neither in pro play on rank, but still. Ash rarely used? No, it's Hibana. It's an Hibana skin they have. Talking about the previous one. I've seen some, but mostly back when the skin was new. I haven't really seen any recently. I like the BDS skin is clean. It is clean. I like it. I even use it myself. But I don't see many other people do it. It's also I don't have any money for it. Yeah, that's another problem. That's a whole separate problem, but true. Alright, in a way the skins are a bit expensive, like the elite skins if you buy the entire bundle, but just the weapon skin is like pretty affordable. Or even just the uniform is pretty affordable, but if you combine them all, it's a bit much, yeah. Do I get it for free? Yeah, I got 2 codes for free. And then I'm gonna get some codes to give away at some point, probably. Which stream has drops? Only the main seed stream, sir. And like the regional tournaments and stuff. Hello, Disa? You good? You good? You good? Bonk! I bought them all except the G2 Vigil. Nice, Havel. Spark again, keeping up the momentum from previous round. Get the opening frag onto Renshiro. And the roam game gets cut short and early. Brit is back on site. Brit roaming is, we'd love to see that, dude. You know, Brit is usually on smoke duty, hiding in corners. As he rightfully has to, because of the gadget. No, Arctic. Reflex in game now if you run Vulcan with most of the drivers. I saw. I gotta play with that today. Although I don't want to update my drivers when I'm streaming, but I might do it for tomorrow's stream and play around with it a bit. Looking forward to see what Dark Zero skin has. Yeah, I'm excited for the next Dark Zero skin. I want to see if they had a fluke, like you know, if the first skin was like lucky and like they got like a crazy skin, or if the second skin will be as good or better. Because making one good skin is not difficult, but making 2 in a row, dude, that's good. That's fucking amazing. So I'm super excited for the next pilot program skin from Dark Zero. They're tier 2, so they're gonna be coming out in a few months probably, I reckon. Because tier 1 just came out. The guy who designed them is a very good artist, not a fluke. Just because you're a good artist doesn't mean you can always make good content, you know? I like Deadbird, but you gotta do it before you do it. Shaiko with a beautiful Kunta Moto door, by the way, also juking the nade in the process. This is the Shaiko effect that we see. Shaiko in blue is probably one of the most difficult players to get rid of. Same with Shaiko and Oregon below, like the... well, it's called Shaiko spot. Close on electric door. Getting rid of Shaiko in those positions is very difficult. And Brit as well, equally disgusting and hard to get rid of in those clutch positions, rather. 3 shotgun kills in the round to BDS and basement defense. Beautiful. BDS getting Brit is still like criminal. It is criminal. BDS with like any other player would never be as good as BDS with Brit. Never. When he joined, I think every other EU team was like, fuck. Because Brit's always been like stock on Vitality with like a massive buyout clause. Or massive buyout required. Never really anything like that happened, you know? Because Brit is one of the best players in Europe. And probably if he had seen more international play, could probably be rated as one of the best players in the world. In his position, in his role. He's also really consistent for a support player. Besides that. They went 4th at SI without him. Imagine if Brit had been on BDS for a full year when they went to Invite. Or like imagine Invite had happened February this year as it was supposed to. I still think actually that Invite being postponed, I think it favors multiple teams such as BDS. Because BDS back in February, you know, we beat them in January. They weren't really looking that strong. I mean, they were good throughout the year, but they had like a bit of a slump. I think BDS, you know, in May is going to be a stronger BDS than they were in February, personally. I also think the meta and where the meta game is headed, I also think that favors BDS's playstyle more, if anything. What's Shago spot on Oregon? Yeah, it's like when you play near the electric box door into blue. Or like the blue door into pillars near the electric box. Like, Shago will just fucking swing and kill you. And then they'll attack, and he'll also swing and kill you on attack. Like, it's just so hard to attack against. So no, we're bandit tricking. There's Thatcher on the board and Ace as well. Bandit tricking here isn't really a possibility. So I'm curious to see what Trainhard does about this. They shouldn't even need to drone this out. EMPs and Selma charges should just do the trick. Your EMP, throw one on each side, and Bandit shouldn't be able to get them both. And there it is, that's what they did. You ace both walls with an EMP, and one of them surely goes out. Then you can EMP again and wrap upside down, get the Bandit battery, and breach further. And that is how you trick around it. You cannot Bandit charge trick like Selma charges. It's near impossible. That's kind of why Ace is kind of broken, because like with Hibana you can trick it, with Firma you can trick it. Maverick you can't trick, but Maverick takes a lot of time. You can not trick against Ace, but if Thatcher is banned, it doesn't matter. But Thatcher is almost always banned, so... Why not pick Kite and Bandit, place a Claw first and then Bandit trick? That doesn't really make it more big of a difference.
There's plenty of time, plenty of utility left to make that happen. And whilst they're trying to go for a couple of picks now, surely soon.
Again, if you play Bandit, Mute, and Kite, you can do the, as you said earlier, the EMP economy, where you play around, you know, the EMPs. You can use both your Kite Claws for Catwalk, and you can do one Mute Jammer and one Bandit tricking on the server breach, and then you can force out like all 3 EMPs and still have some spare. That's what you could do. Definitely. Or you Mute Jam the garage walls and then you Kite Claw trick them afterwards. Because you know, they've only used 2 EMPs and they're about to breach both walls. They will have to use the 3rd one here, thankfully, but... Could also enable the vertical play. I did see Mr. Blast below, I believe. This is a bit... I'm not sure about that. Spark falls off the roof as well, the same round. Okay. We're trying to Firma breach the wall against the Bandit, knowing that he was there. No vertical play, no Sophia. Blast is right below as well. Blast could, with a single button, Blast could just turn, shoot the floor with the Sophia's like charge, or just with his own soft gun for that matter, and just deny the Bandit from Bandit tricking, and the wall gets opened. He could even stun her as well. A lot of options there. Really, 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 really iffy. They're not even gonna try and help Spark because he's so far across the map with 27 seconds left. So it's just gonna come down to a Clown Fiesta and BTS takes the map. Maybe Noir is gonna be a nice teammate and run around and get Spark, but nope. Later beach. Bit of a shame. I assume that Spark was trying to land on the platform? Or what? Like he EMPs and then rotates off. It makes sense to go Server Breach here. It makes sense. This doesn't make sense. This right here? You droned out the Bandit. You know he's there. He Bandit tricked it earlier. You have Blast right below you who has 2 soft breaches and 2 stuns. And this is what happens. That's a bit rough. Yeah, easy. I see here. I guess he tried to land here, but he slipped off. You see him falling. Oh, he even hits the platform. You see him slide off. Look at this, dude. Oh, God, dude. One more time. That is absolutely unfortunate. Oh god, that screech. You see him slide. Yeah, and then I'm a bit surprised that he wanted to land here, because there's not really anything to hold from that angle. Like, there's no angle here to Brit, for example. But hey, that guy just broke his ankles, dude. That's the wrong thing.
That last exothermic and spark.
Unlucky, dude.
The Lambs catching one round the back stairs. Red has been dropped. Now it's a 4 versus 2.
Also, I just saw that Limbs using the face skin. I like how FaZe... I think FaZe Clan saw Dark Zero's skin and was like, why are we even trying to make a skin that's FaZe's colors like a previous one? Why don't we make a mainstream skin that everyone's gonna wanna buy? But this skin doesn't make any sense. That's the issue, right? If you look at Dark Zero's skin, the Leviathan skin, and if you... the next skin, when we see that, I'm sure it's gonna follow the same trend. This doesn't make any sense. This is... it has nothing to do with FaZe. It's not their colors. It's not their scheme. It's not their design. I'm pretty sure... I mean, there was a video from Deadbird, I think, or from Dark Zero themselves, maybe, where they Googled, like, you know, like astrology, Milky Way, fucking galaxy stuff, and they just fucking went into Photoshop and they made the skin in like 2 minutes, right? And that's exactly what that skin feels like. It feels like a really cheap and lazy attempt at creating something that's supposed to be great that isn't. Yeah, I found the video here. Twitter compression quality is a bit ass. Galaxy wallpaper.
No.
And that's the face skin. Right there. That's literally it, dude. That's literally it, right? Like, that's the skin. Obviously, maybe FaZe put in more work. Maybe they hand drew the galaxy or whatever. I don't know, dude. But yeah, it feels like a big ripoff trying to get like a lot of value out of a low quality item, if you know what I mean, right? And then if we look at like the Dark Zero Leviathan skin, the reason why it works as well as it does, right, is because it has a lot of things going right for it. Right? It has personal branding of Dark Zero. It has the color scheme of Dark Zero. It even has their logo right here, while still introducing a mascot of the Leviathan, while still playing around with the dynamics of the weapon, while still playing together with all the like the stock and everything else that you want. It looks great. It doesn't break the flow. It looks clean. It even has hashtag going dark, which is like the phrasing of Dark Zero. It's great. It plays out great. I like the video. Yeah, Sonics also have a skin made by the same guy. Sonics Pilot Program skin. I don't know what it's called though. It's called... I don't know what it's called. Doesn't say. Looks like this. Where it's like the same story. You know, you have the Sonics logo down here, and it's like bubbly, gooey, spider webby kind of like texture. And then you got like the monster here and like the tongue coming out. It's a bit more lackluster on the front proportion of the gun because it's just like the tongue, but the back end is very busy and very has a lot going on, right? So, and they even have, I see that they even have like the top of the stock here. They even have some stuff. I don't know, I think this weapon skin is like, it's really good. I like how the BDS charm is on it. It looks great. The Leviathan skin is better. It's a more compact weapon skin. You know, like if you get like Maestro's LMG, the All-Del, you get this TCHD gun. It's a lot going on stretched across a very big like canvas. Whereas like the Legion gun, I feel like you can get it much more compact and get a much better flow. It's not as bulky and big. It doesn't have as many obstructions. It has like a pretty clean area to work with. You know? Looks like the same design. Same guy made it, so that would make sense, right? The text looks so out of place in the Dark Zero skin. I don't know if it looks out of place. You don't really see it in game, but it's more like a, you know, for viewing. But yeah, because you don't see the text in game at all. Also, people have been saying that the Koyo charm has been shipped and some people have started receiving them, which is pretty PogChamp, dude. Yeah, there it is. Another one. Another real life Pengu charm has reached an address. Very nice, boys. Very nice. I haven't got them myself yet. I'm still waiting for mine. I'm still waiting for mine. Mine should be here soon, though. Yo, Pengu! Tier 2 for 15 months. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Getting mine soon as well. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I saw that. I still got the alpha packs as well. I got these like real life alpha packs. I was gonna give some away at like LAN events and stuff, but COVID, you know. So we got a bunch of alpha packs for the future stuff, dude. So yeah. Real life alpha packs. Ah, I'm not opening up my alpha pack. They look so nice. They do, and you gotta like ruin them. To open them basically. Open one? No, hell no, dude. Don't mind. I should do a tier list of gun weapons. Oh, you mean the pilot program skins? You wanna make a tier list of pilot program skins, yeah? I think I wrote that down last stream because somebody else mentioned it, and then I definitely think we should do that soon. Maybe we make one either now because new skins just came out, or we make one when the new ones come out, like the tier 2 ones with like Dark Zero and stuff. Because I want to see where we rank Dark Zero skin. Like that's the one I'm the most excited about. That and maybe Sonic's. I think Sonic's colors are great for the game. But yeah, we'll do that soon. I might give the new event, well, the new quote unquote new event a play, to be honest. Bang bang, over here. Oh, I entered my wrong password. You still pissed, Han? Pissed. What new game mode? Rainbow is Magic came out today. Quote unquote new game mode. I'm updating Siege, hold tight.